Hi, welcome back guys. This is your sensei, back with another fanfiction. This is the first part of What If Naruto Was a Saiyan and Got Harem. Now before starting, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now let's get into the fanfic. Land of Fire, Konohagakure no Sato Hash. Naruto Uzumaki stares at the translucent blue box before him and wonders if this is actually a very lucid dream after gorging himself into a ramen-induced coma. The 13-year-old has finished another day at the Konoha Academy as his teachers target him for even minor things. He often wonders why he is treated in such a manner. Even the villagers were cold to him, often whispering behind his back. The Sandaime Hokage hers and Sarutobi often told him to be good and the village would acknowledge him, even inspiring him to become Hokage in the future. Congratulations Naruto Uzumaki. Due to your actions in a previous life, you have been rewarded with the gamer bloodline and several chosen perks in place of past memories. Would like to cover the tutorial? Yes, no. Naruto hesitantly presses yes and a whole host of information is seemingly melded with his mind. Once it is done and his mind feels clearer. He is shocked he of all people in the world has been chosen for such a thing and is impressed by his past self to give him such a chance. He looks through many options, stats, skills, special abilities, titles, reputation, mission, inventory, game store, dungeons and settings. He starts with his stats in his long list of attributes and their values. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 1, 0 divided by 500. Stats, HP, 460. CP, 5000. CC, 0%. SDR 8, SPD 10, STA 22, Dex 8, Vit 25, CHK 38, Wise 6, Stat points 5 per level. Perks, Uzumaki gain 5 CHK, 3 Vit, and 2 STA. Learning Fuinjutsu and Kenjutsu will be 100% faster. Wind and Water Ninjutsu will be 50% easier to learn and use. Namikaze gain 3 SPD, 3 Dex, and 4 Wise. Learning Taijutsu will be 50% faster. Able to learn Rasengan and Haraishin. Kyubai Jinchuriki gain 10 CHK, 5 Vit, and 5 STA. Learning Fire Ninjutsu will be easier to learn and use. Gamer Mind allows one to remain focused even dire situations, for example first kills or powerful foes. Saiyan Body become one of the strongest of the most powerful warrior race. Plus 10 CHK, 10 Vit, 20 STA. Zenkai Boost will increase stats for every life-threatening injury. Boost will decrease once reaching Super Saiyan. Info, STR is strength and how much you put behind a blow. SPD is well speed. STA is stamina. Dex represents how skillful you can be dodging attacks and how much movement is wasted while dodging. Vit is vitality, so the higher the stat the more damage you can receive. CHK is chakra, so the higher the stat the more chakra you have in reserve to use. CC how well one can use their chakra increases through control exercises. Higher CC means easier use of jutsu. Wise stat represents how experienced you are overall, and the higher points indicate a higher level of wisdom and insight. All of your stats can be increased in 2 ways, either by training them individually or allocating attribute points to them. 5 attribute points are given per level. Naruto clicks on Super Saiyan or SSJ and it has 2 skill trees called Standard and God routes with prerequisites of achieving level 100 and learning the Kaioken technique, unlocked at level 50. The Standard route has SSJ, SSJ2, SSJ3 and SSJ4 with the first 3 having spiky blonde hair of various lengths and greenish-blue eyes, while SSJ3 gives one a more prominent brow and is extremely taxing on STA. SSJ4 give one red fur on their upper body except for their abs and pecs with a red tail, a mane of spiky black hair, greenish-blue or golden eyes having a red ring around said eyes. God route is SSJ, SSJ2, SSJ3 but swaps to SSJ God, SSJ Blue or SSJ God SSJ, Ultra Instinct and Perfected Ultra Instinct. Well past me, you put me ahead of the curve. Saiyan Body will let me get strong pretty quick. I may go with Standard SSJ route. UI would be nice but would take forever. Beside red fur with SSJ4 goes with my red hair Naruto says, picking Standard Super Saiyan route. SSJ, achieved at level 100. Power now equal to Ikabai Biju. SSJ2, achieved at level 125. Power now equal to Yanbai Biju. SSJ3, achieved at level 130. Power now equal to Hachibai Biju. SSJ4, achieved at level 150. Power now equal to Kyubai Biju. So I need to be level 150 to get SSJ4 Naruto says and moves on to Harem but blushes at the thought of a girlfriend, before hoping his crush Sakura Haruno is a part of his harem and those hopes were immediately dashed. There were 6 women chosen but could be changed and things will change to suit his choices. The women his past self chose were Tsunade Senju, Sarada Uchiha, Kaguya Hyuga, Kushina Uzumaki, Yor Briar and Fushiraishi. Sarada, Sasuke is the Uchiha I know Naruto says and clicks her name. Sarada Uchiha, if chosen the world will change and for the better. Childhood friend and younger sister of Godame Hokage Itachi Uchiha. Mothers were also best friends. After a terrible incident where her clan is massacred by Father Fugaku, leaving her mother, older brother, and non-combatants, you offer support and love blossoms. Plus 500 rep with Uchiha survivors and God Aim Hokage. So if I chose her, the world would actually change. Is that possible? Naruto thought. It moves to Kaguya Hyuga, and again the only Hyuga he knows is Hinata in his class and Neji in the year ahead of him. Kaguya Hyuga, former enemy of the world and the person your past self defeated. If chosen, the world changes for the better. Kaguya is the daughter of clan head Hayashi Hyuga and Hitomi Hyuga. You save her from bullies at 10 and love at first sight is formed. Plus 500 rep with Hyuga. So past me fought and decided to give her another chance at life. Man, he has a great heart, Naruto says, before pressing Tsunade. Tsunade Senju, if chosen, world will change. Great-granddaughter of Shodaime Hokage Hashirama Senju. Many see her as the princess of Konoha and someone to worship, but you do not, causing her to gain love for you and strive to make you hers. Plus 500 rep with Senju and village. Also slight incest as you are from cousin clans. Choosing her will help with my village rep and she looks pretty, Naruto says and presses Kushina. Kushina Uzumaki, your former mother and former holder of Kyuubi no Yoko. If chosen, world will change. Will become your twin sister and fellow holder of the Kyuubi no Yoko. Your bond is from the womb and only have comfort from each other in a harsh village. I don't know. She may have beautiful hair. A part of me might still see her as my mom, Naruto says and decides to switch out Kushina and looks to the last two women. Your Briar, if chosen, world will not change and does not affect other choices. Your works for Zabuza Mamachi as his tool with Hakuyuki. She is exceptionally strong but a little clumsy and a skilled killer. Unlocked on Nami no Kuni mission. You free her from serving Zabuza and she dedicates her life to protecting you, eventually falling in love. Also do not let her drink alcohol. Plus 1000 rep with Nami no Kuni. So I need to go to Nami to get your. Seems simple enough and I like her red eyes, Naruto says and checks out Fu. Fu Shiraishi, if chosen, world will not change and does not affect other choices. Fellow Jinchuriki love. Unlocked on mission to Takagekure no Sato. Fu is the holder of the Nanabi Biju and is treated horribly, desiring to make 100 friends. You save her from bad people and become friends, eventually lovers through your bond as Jinchuriki. Plus 500 rep with Taki and Konoha. Okay, I will change Kushina and keep the others, Naruto says and presses yes to change Kushina. Numerous pictures of various girls appear for Naruto to choose as the last member of his harem, some of which better the world and some make the world worse. He finds Sakura and she is hopelessly in love with Sasuke or someone else. This is hard for the redhead but slowly accepts she is a vapid girl, who despite being able to be great decides to wallow in mediocrity. Naruto eventually settles on Esdeath Partis and his choices will take effect once he falls asleep and awakens anew, including new memories due to harem choices. Esdeath Partis, if chosen, world will change and does not affect other choices. Former apprentice of Amiri Rengo and user of Hayaten Kekkei Genkai. Unlocked by traveling to Water Country during Chunin exams. A God Aim Hokage decides to aid rebels and free Kirigekure no Sato from the tyranny of Yonde Mizukage. Will immediately fall deeply in love with you, having slight yander tendencies but not to harem. Plus 500 rep with Water Country and Kirigekure. Okay, harem chosen. Let's check out the store, Naruto says. The store has weapons, clothes, skills, and even food. His orphan stipend is 15,000 ryo, which would have been 25 but utilities and rent needed to be paid, so he would need to spend wisely in the store. He sees a certain jutsu as a must called Kage Bunshin, which creates solid copies of oneself and whatever the clone learns the original learns, but it was 100,000 ryo. Man, I hope can earn some money in a dungeon, Naruto thought and moves to dungeon. A few dungeons appear and start at level 1, second level 5, third level 10 and so on and so forth. Naruto tries the first dungeon but needs a weapon to enter, so he buys several kunai and shuriken. He even gains a taijutsu scroll in the process. Cool, Naruto says, and a pop-up appears. All the knowledge floods his brain of maneuvering to evade, block, redirect, feint and everything basic but advanced skills were blocked. New skill unlocked. Whirlpool and Hummingbird Taijutsu. A taijutsu style comprising of mixtures of the Uzumaki clan and Minato Namikaze's taijutsu style, revolving around dodging and deflecting shots, tiring out the opponent, and attacking using pinpoint hits on the muscle and joints. This skill is currently on the lowest level and can go up by 2 tiers, the next being intermediate and the highest being advanced. Observe. Allows one to observe levels and stats or abilities-based levels but increase with level ups. So this is my clan's taijutsu and combined with my dad's taijutsu. This is amazing and now I have a link to my heritage. I can't believe my dad is the 4th Hokage, Naruto thought and enters the dungeon. It resembles the forests of Konoha and gives him a sense of familiarity as a wall of text appears. Welcome to the demonic dungeon. This is the lowest level dungeon available at your current level. The dungeon will automatically increase in level once you complete the dungeon, though you will have the choice to go back to a previously completed dungeon. In the dungeons, you will face opponents with 5 levels more than yours, and the dungeon boss will always be 10 levels above yours. Quest received. 1. Defeat all the enemies within the dungeon. 2. Defeat the dungeon boss. 0 divided by 1. Optional. 1. Defeat 10 enemies with only taijutsu. Rewards. 17500 XP. 22500 XP, a Kenjutsu-style scroll, 3 optional 250 XP. Naruto moves through the forest for about 20 minutes and comes across a green creature having pointy ears, jagged teeth, and a loincloth with a small knife. He uses Observe and sees it as a goblin. It's a faster than me, but I got him beat in strength and dexterity. Okay, Naruto says. The goblin chitters and rushes Naruto, but the redhead parries its blow, attempting to swing a left hook, and it dodges, however not the kunai to its brain. The goblin crumbles into dust and the redhead gains some X, but also its knife as more chittering echoes, and Naruto sees 3 more goblins. Alright, Naruto says. 5 hours pass and the redhead has accomplished his quest of 100 goblins and leveled up 4 times with 20 attribute points gained. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 4, 101,000th. Stats, HP, 95-0. CP, 75-0. CC, 5%. SDR, 18. SPD, 20. STA, 35. Dex, 28. Vit, 45. CHK, 58. Wise, 35. Stat points, 20. Now for the boss, Naruto says, after checking his stats, picking to face the dungeon boss. He is transported to a clearing, and standing opposite Naruto is a muscular goblin with barbarian attire and a double-sided axe that looks rare. Goblin Champion. This is going to be really tough, Naruto says, using Observe and adding his new points to SPD, Wise, Dex, and STR. Naruto powers up using his chakra to give him a little boost and equips a spear he found in the forest. The Goblin Champion roars and rushes forward as Naruto does the same with a heavy thrust, grazing the side of the champion and dodging its downward strike. Only a glancing blow and did minor damage, Naruto says, flinging a few kunai with one hand towards its eyes. 1 scores and the champion roars in pain, allowing Naruto to close in, piercing its stomach, but the champion swings the flat part of its axe. Naruto groans as he's tossed across the field from the champion's heavy swing. His HP has dropped a third and a stun state is in effect. That was 1 hit, Naruto says, his vision swimming, but sees the Goblin Champion coming. I need to move. I can't die in my very first dungeon. I need help, Naruto thought, his body trembling. Then help you Shuget boy, a voice says. Naruto feels a surge of chakra as it condenses into numerous chains erupting from his body and through the Goblin Champion. He slowly loses consciousness as the crumpling champion and the forest slowly fade and the world changes to suit our newest gamer's needs. Naruto awakens in his bed with tattered clothes, but his room looks better than it was when he passed out. The previous day's events come rushing back and he brings up the translucent blue screen. Quest completed. Level up 6x. Awards, 10,250 EXP and a Kenjutsu-style scroll. Congratulations! By defeating the dungeon boss, you have unlocked the hidden dungeon boss. This boss will be around twice the level of the dungeon boss, so prepare wisely before going about to fight it. Daily quest received. 1 complete 50 push-ups, 2 complete 50 pull-ups, 3 complete 50 sit-ups, 4 complete 50 crunches, 5 complete a 5 kilometers run. Complete all the objectives while wearing sweatbands made with resistance seals. Rewards, 6250 EXP. Daily quests, as the name implies, are always given daily and are a way to help you grow stronger. The objectives will become harder as levels rise, so the rewards are more plentiful. So good day and happy grinding. Naruto gasps as he is now level 10 but now has daily quests to grind and try to level up towards SSJ4. He slips of his bed and takes off his destroyed clothes but opens the store to find some clothes and check his inventory. He sees the Goblin Champion's axe and it's super rare, worth 100,000, and his blue eyes widen. He now has enough to buy the Cage Bunshin skill, before immediately buying said skill and some new clothes from his stipend fund. He buys a pair of dark fitted cargo shorts, a dark long sleeve shirt with his clan spiral in red and some reinforced tennis shoes. This is awesome. I wonder what skills I unlocked at level 10, Naruto thought, getting dressed and checking his stats. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 10, 0 divided by 10,000. Stats, HP, 11,500. CP, 95-0. CC, 5%. SDR, 38. SPD, 40. STA, 55. Dex, 38. Vit, 55. CHK, 58. Wise, 45. Stat points, 30. Skill list. Whirlpool and Hummingbird Taijutsu level 4. Killing Intent level 5. This skill has 2 abilities, the ability to detect killing intent aimed at you and the other which allows you to direct or release killing intent on others. Killing intent detection range, 15 meters. Killing intent affects animals and low-level civilians. Shuriken Jutsu level 7. Techniques entail throwing shuriken, kunai, senbon, or any other throwable weapon. Uzumaki Regeneration. Blessed with the famed Uzumaki Regeneration, allows you to get up and running from wounds that would take weeks to heal in a matter of days. Chakra Chains. It is a Kekkei Genkai unique to the Uzumaki clan, where users of this technique mold their chakra into chains, which can be used for different purposes, such as sealing one's chakra temporarily, absorbing chakra, or simply binding the target. Kyubai Regeneration. Having the Kyubai within you will have its perks. The perk is having an amazing regen rate for both chakra and health. Flight. It is a skill used by Saiyan to traverse long distances in a short period of time. can be passed off as the Jutsu Daten, Keijugin no Jutsu from Iwagakure no Sato. Naruto's eyes nearly bugged out of his skull at the flight skill. I'll be able to fly. That's awesome, he thought. That is interesting, Boya, a voice says, and Naruto looks around. Are you the Kyuubi? Naruto says. I am Boya. I am the yin half. Your father sealed my young self inside himself, and they are residing in the Shinigami's belly. I aided you in killing the goblin champion, the voice says. Thanks. So why did you attack the village? Naruto says. I was under the control of some fool wearing a mask and having a Sharingan, Kyuubi says. Quest received: find masked Uchiha. Find and defeat the Uchiha responsible for unleashing the Kyuubi from your mother and bringing Konoha to near collapse. Clues will appear through certain events. Reward: 150,000 EXP. 2 Sharingan and all abilities. 3. While that is convenient, Naruto says. Don't forget your Kenjutsu scroll, you won, Kyuubi says. Oh right, thanks Kyuubi. Do you have a name? Naruto asks. Call me Musashi, Boya, Kyuubi, or Musashi says. Naruto unlocks his scroll and a rush of information floods his brain. Parrying, deflecting, using your opponent's weight against them, lightning speed sword drawing, and much more in the art of Kenjutsu. Uzumaki Ryu style Kenjutsu. A Kenjutsu style revolving around overwhelming power, the complete opposite of the Uzumaki's Taijutsu, quickly breaks through an enemy's guard with complete ease and efficiency via lightning fast strikes. Awesome, more links to my clan. I'll need to buy a sword from the store, Naruto says, and gets his shoes on to go have some Ikaraku ramen before classes. He leaves his apartment and sees it looks better than before. Must be due to my harem choices, Naruto thought. Naruto roams the streets seeing blue boxes above their heads, declaring their rank and level as he uses observe on every shinobi. Most genin stayed between level 20 and 35, while chunin were greater and roamed around 35 to 50, though he couldn't see the level of jonin level. Even with observe at LVL 5 I still can't see some things, though my stats are nearly genin level and I have 3 years of academy left. Maybe I should try to graduate early, Naruto thought. He reaches Ikaraku and greets the father-daughter pair Chuchai and Iam, people who have been there most of his life. Naruto orders 15 bowls of ramen compared to his usual 5 and believed his Saiyan body is the cause. I figured I'd find you here, a voice says, and Naruto looks back to see Sarada. She is shoulder length and parted to the right, black hair and matching eyes behind a pair of red framed glasses. She wears a sleeveless, button dull red dress bound by a yellow tie and a white belt with matching blouse underneath. A black fingerless glove on her right hand, a black arm warmer on her left arm, and a pair of black ankle-length, high-heel sandals with wooden soles. What can I say? I love my ramen, Naruto says, finishing his last bowl and using observe. Name: Sarada Uchiha. Title: Clan Heiress. Harem Affinity: Level 5. HP: 32-0. CP: 32-0. CC: 45%. STR: 10. SPD: 20. STA: 18. Dex: 22. Vit: 8. CHK: 15. Wise: 35. Stat points: 0. Bonus per level. Uchiha: gain 4 SPD, 3 Wise, and 4 Dex. Abilities: Fire Release, Great Fireball Jutsu Level 3. The Great Fireball Jutsu is a unique jutsu created by the Uchiha clan as a rite of passage, and only those who succeeded in using the jutsu was considered adult member of the clan. Shuriken Jutsu Level 10. Techniques entail throwing shuriken, kunai, senbon, or any other throwable weapon. Accuracy equals 10%. Interceptor Fist Taijutsu Level 2. The Interceptor Fist is the Taijutsu style of the Uchiha clan. This style allows the clan to use the full benefit of their eyes, able to accurately counter, deflect, and use your opponent's attacks against them. Increases dexterity by 6%. Special abilities: Sharingan Level 1. The famed jutsu of the Uchiha clan that allows the user, when active, a greater perception and the ability to see a person's movements with great clarity. Increases users' dexterity, agility, and use of genjutsu. Increases dexterity by 5%. Did you meet Tsunade or Kaguya on the way to find me? Naruto says, as they leave Ikaraku with a wave to Iam. No, but I'm sure we will. Sarada comments and adjusts her glasses. Mama wants you to have dinner with us, she adds. Sure, Naruto says, and sees a blonde girl and white-haired girl waiting at the academy gates. So he was at Ikaraku, Tsunade says. She has honey brown eyes with blonde hair and a high ponytail and shoulder-length bangs that frame her face. She wears gray mesh shirt over a teal kimono with short sleeves and red lining around the collars secured by a blue sash, red arm warmers, and white thigh highs with closed-toe kunoichi boots. Good morning, Naruto, Kaguya says, smiling with a pink in her cheeks. She has long white hair and a hindcut with pale white eyes having a lavender tint and white eyebrows. She wears a lavender and cream hooded jacket with lavender cuffs over mesh armor, navy blue pants, and black, low-heel boots. The four enter the gates and make their way to their class on the second floor as Naruto uses observe on Tsunade and Kaguya. Name: Kaguya Hyuga. Title: Clan Heiress. Harem Affinity. Level 6. HP: 4000. CP: 4000. CC: 50%. STR: 10. SPD: 10. STI: 12. Dex: 10. Vit: 15. CHK: 15. Wise: 20. Stat points: 0. Bonus per level. Hyuga: gain 2 STR, 2 SPD, 2 STA, and 2 Dex. Learning Taijutsu will be 50% faster. Kaguya's reincarnation: gain 8 CHK, 8 Vit, and 8 Wise. Learning ninjutsu will be 50% faster and unlock Tenseigen. Abilities. The Gentle Fist Taijutsu Level 2. The Gentle Fist is the famed taijutsu style of the Hyuga clan. This style allows the clan to the full benefit of their eyes. Able to accurately pinpoint chakra points within a person, they can shut down a person's chakra network, or if ruthless, kill a person from the inside out. This style has also famed the clan for its clean kills. Increases strength by 6%. Increases dexterity by 6%. Bonuses when the skill is active. STR equals 8 equals 8.48. Dex equals 8 equals 8.48. Anatomy Level 1. Anatomy for the Hyuga clan is important as it supports their taijutsu style. This helps them in targeting nerves and other muscles and joints to take out the target easier. Special abilities. Byakugan Level 1. The famed taijutsu of the Hyuga clan allows the user, when active, a nearly 360-degree viewing capability, alongside X-ray vision, and to see long distances not visible to the human eye allows the user to see the chakra points within the human body and is the true reason why its clan's taijutsu style is so famous. Range, 10 meters. Name, Tsunade Senju. Title, Clan Heiress. Harem Affinity, Level 5. HP, 5000. CP, 5000. CC, 75%. SDR, 25. SPD, 15. STA, 20. Dex, 15. VIT, 50. CHK, 50. Wise, 27. Stat points, 0. Bonus per level. Senju, gain 5 SDR, 5 STA, and 2 Dex. Learning Taijutsu, Uryujutsu, Ninjutsu will be 50% faster. Abilities. Kotsu Fist Taijutsu Level 8. Increases dexterity by 5%. Increases stamina by 5%. Kotsuken is a taijutsu style created by the ancestors of the Senju clan. It was made to counter the precognition of the Sharingan as much as possible. The Kotsuken's main use is through delicate footwork and not looking the Uchiha in the eye but rather the feet. Also turning one's limbs into iron hammers and increasing physical strength. Shuriken Jutsu Level 8. Increases accuracy by 8%. Senju Regeneration Level 8. All of their skills are good with Tsunade have the more SDR and best CC. Kaguya SPD and Sarada Dex Naruto thought. Their classroom has a high ceiling with several rows of desks going up, a podium, and 3 high blackboards. Naruto looks over his fellow students of Choji Akamichi, Shino Aburame, Kiba Inuzuka, Shikamaru Nara, Sakura Haruno, Ino Yamanaka, and numerous civilian students. Everyone is pretty average with Shikamaru having the highest Ys, Kiba has a high STA, and Shino has a high CHK. He sees Sakura hanging around Kiba as the dog boy always claims he's the alpha of their class. Naruto and the others take their seats but he sees Kiba leering at them but he would put him in his place sooner or later. Soon their teachers Iruka Yamino and Mizuki Tauji arrive but Naruto wonders how much they've changed due to his harem choice. Sarada's brother is Hokage. Plus my village rep is tolerable Naruto thought but would gets his answer about 30 minutes in as Mizuki sends him out of class for glancing out the window. Naruto gets some apologetic looks from Sarada, Tsunade, and Kaguya but laughs from Kiba and his lackeys. Leave a clone in your place. Even add a little of my chakra to reinforce it, Musashi says. Naruto smirks and slips off to the bathroom and creates said clone to send it back as he heads to the dungeon to train most on his new skills. He enters the dungeon and the goblins are now level 15 due to his new level meaning the boss would level 20. Naruto goes to the store to buy a stealth skill and henge skill but uses his stat points. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 10, 0 divided by 10,000. Stats, HP, 11,500. CP, 95.0. CC, 15%. SDR, 40. SPD, 40. STA, 55. Dex, 40. VIT, 55. CHK, 68. Wise, 40. Stat points, 2. Naruto then creates 4 clones of himself. Okay, 2 of you work on flying and the other 2 on chakra chains, he says, and all 4 nod. He decides to do his daily quests here, hence the reason for the stealth skill as it erases one's presence. Resistant seals. Resistant seals are specially made seals designed to strengthen the human body by placing pressure, or as it is called, resistance on the body, forcing the muscles to tear down and grow stronger each time. There are a total of 10 levels to conquer before the seals grow useless to you. Each level increases the growth rate of physical stats by 100%, only up to a certain point. Level 1 up to 50, Level 2 up to 75, Level 3 up to 100, Level 4 up to 125, Level 5 up to 150, Level 6 up to 175, Level 7 up to 200, Level 8 up to 225, Level 9 up to 250, Level 10 up to 300. Do you wish to equip resistant seals? Yes, no. Naruto groans at the added weight but powers through as it increases his SDR and STA in the process. He does his exercises in full view of goblins and kills them as he does his 5-kilometer run. Should I challenge the hidden boss or wait? Naruto thought. You have 5 more tries including this one before you lose this dungeon. I advise using the tries and level up, though the hidden boss will do the same. All your stats are above 40. Focus on getting them to 50 and get a sword, Musashi says. Naruto finishes his run and falls on his back as his limbs were burning but feels Musashi's chakra is flooding his limbs. Thanks, Musashi, he says, as a rush of memories hit his head. Flight. Chakra chains. I'll probably need goggles when I fly high up, Naruto says, transporting himself to the boss. The Goblin Champion has a great sword in place of its axe and has a new skill of minion summoning. Naruto takes the initiative and brings out his chains, using them as whips as the champion summons a few goblins. He uses the chains to pierce, choke or toss the goblins like makeshift flails to gain exp. The champion rushes Naruto from behind, but the redhead turns to use his chains as a way to block the downward blow, digging a small rut as it pushes on its sword. Naruto manages to send the sword right for him to slam a heavy blow to the champion's gut. The champion spews some spittle as it staggers back and falls to one knee but struggles back up before crashing back to one knee. Tatsumaki, Naruto shouts, leaping and connecting with 3 hurricane kicks to snap the champion's neck. The champion crumbles to dust, but this time the redhead is awake to see the spoils as he collects a few knives and the champion's great sword to sell to store and fill his sword fund. Level up. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 11, 0 divided by 11,000. Stats, HP 12,500, CP 10,500, CC 18%, SDR 45, SPD 40, STA 65, Dex 40, VIT 55, CHK 68, Wise 40, Stat Points 7. Naruto makes it out of the dungeon well after the academy lets, but still has about an hour before having to meet Sarada's family for dinner. He takes a quick shower and buys some blue jeans, a white polo shirt with some different tennis shoes. He makes his way to the market district and buys some sweet buns for his godmother but also Pocky for the Godame. After the Uchiha massacre and attaches installment as Godame, the Uchiha survivors were moved back into the village proper after being moved to the outskirts of the village after Musashi's attack. There were some dissidents to this decision, namely a village elder named Danzo, but he and his fellow elders lost much of their power, similar to the civilian council which was dissolved and one person chosen. Greed had infested the civilian council and evidence came to light as they were altering various things within the village that made things easier for civilian-born ninja. You made it on time. You said you might not make it on time, Sarada says, greeting the redhead at the clan's compound gate. Yeah, I had to plan something for Uruka-sensei and Mizuki-sensei, Naruto says, following her to the main house. It better not be something stupid. I talked to brother and he said there will be changes to the academy, Sarada says. Maybe some better teachers, Naruto thought and ruffles his hair. Any details, he says, but Sarada shakes her head. The pair reach the house and Naruto takes off his shoes to follow Sarada to the living room. Also, brother won't be joining us. So it will just the 3 of us, she says, taking the sweet buns from him. Hello, Naruto, Mikoto says, a soft smile on her face and her long black hair framing her face. Hey, Auntie Miko, Naruto says. I'm glad you could join us and thank you for the sweet buns, Mikoto says, and Naruto smiles. Dinner soon is served and Naruto eats about 3 portions but would hit up Ikaraku to fill his stomach. The 3 would talk about things as Mikoto tells more stories about his mother, still keeping his father a secret until he graduates from the academy. Will you take up Kenjutsu like Kushina, Mikoto says. I wish to, but I need a proper sword, Naruto says. The beautiful Uchiha matriarch cups her chin in thought and rises from her chair. Perhaps I can help. Kushina left me something, Mikoto says, heading to find what Kushina left. What could it be, Naruto asks. I don't know, but it must be special, Sarada says. A few minutes later, Mikoto returns with a sword wrapped in cloth, when Kushina had her sword made by a swordsmith. It was one of a pair, the blade made with special chakra metal found in Uzushio. Her sword was known as Uzumaku Shio no Ken, or Sword of Swirling Tides, and this one is Uzumaku Tenitsurugi, or Sword of Swirling Heaven, she says, pulling off the cloth. Naruto's eyes widen at the sword with the sheath stained in black lacquer, a red cord around it, and the Uzumaki swirl dotting it in gold. The sword has a tsuba similar to the Uzumaki swirl as well and has designs like gold waves on it. Its hilt is wrapped in red and black silk with a gold butt cap. She intended for you to have it, Mikoto says, her eyes a little misty. Naruto slowly takes the sword, both hands, a few tears fall on the sheath. Thank you, Auntie Miko, he whispers, and Sarada softly hugs him as the redhead soft cries. After a few minutes of crying, Naruto bids Sarada and Mikoto goodnight and makes his home but uses observe on his new sword, seeing it was rated as mythic and his eyes widen. Your luck is impeccable, boy, Musashi says. Seems so. I'll test it in the dungeon and with the hidden dungeon boss, Naruto thought. He would wake up at 5 a.m. the next day to do his daily quests, heading to the academy at 8 and leaving about 2.5 kilometers for later. The weekend started tomorrow so he could hit the dungeon 2 more times and level up. Strangely enough, the Hawkage, Jonin Commander, and a few Jonin were in class today. Naruto tries to use Observe on Itachi, but like Jonin couldn't see his level. Itachi gives a disarming greeting and begins explaining that the academy syllabus would be changing, though it would not affect them until next year, but he did lay things out going forward. Subjects like flower pressing and other not needed subjects would be removed and core subjected reinstated. First years would learn the history of Konoha, language, math, the founding clans and the clans currently residing in the village. The basics of Taijutsu, chakra control, basic handling of kunai and shuriken as well. Stealth and a basic obstacle course at the end of each month to track their progress with physical conditioning to be greatly increased to push their students. The Jonin Commander Shikaku Nara put forth the idea of a bi-monthly shogi go tournament to improve students' logical and thinking capabilities, something they too would start next month. That will improve your wise, Musashi says, and Naruto mentally nods. Second year's core subjects in the tournament will remain the same with Taijutsu moving to an intermediate level. Chakra control exercises such as tree walking and water walking will be introduced, being taught until the final year. The basics of Shuriken Jutsu and improving on their accuracy, the obstacle course becoming significantly harder than the previous year, physical conditioning remaining the same, adding meditation and proper stretching. Weekly Taijutsu tournaments will begin to bolster competition and the sense of rivalry, also the introduction of Henge, Kawarami, and basic Bunshin. Third years like them would have Taijutsu stepped up and an introduction to Jinjutsu, stealth techniques to learn how to spy and trail a person of interest or a target. Shuriken Jutsu would now being tested on both static and dynamic targets, obstacle courses up to level, weekly Taijutsu tournaments and now monthly Shogi Go tournaments. However, the fourth year is where things would spice up as they can now choose a specialization depending on which field they wish to specialize in. Compulsory subjects such as Ninjutsu, Taijutsu, and Shuriken Jutsu, while optional subjects such as Genjutsu, Hurriejutsu, Fuinjutsu, Kenjutsu, Bujutsu, and Barrier Ninjutsu will be added. This will definitely up my stats, Naruto thought. They would have to choose a minimum of 3 or a maximum of 5 and the subjects would be carried on to their final year. Chakra affinities would be tested and taught 1 offensive technique, 1 defensive and 1 supporting, which would be either C rank or D rank but depends on the student. That year they would also learn about their bodies, both male and female together alongside sex education. Fifth and sixth year would have courses like assassination, torture and interrogation, seduction, counter-seduction, sabotage and infiltration. The final year would fine-tune their skills and prepare them for their genin tests, but also be blooded by killing an animal. Seems some can't handle that, Naruto thought. Itachi dismisses them early as it looks like a few have some choices to make concerning their future. I will definitely choose Ninjutsu, Shuriken Jutsu, Genjutsu and Uriejutsu. Sarada says to Naruto, Tsunade and Kaguya as they leave the academy. I may go Genjutsu, Ninjutsu, Bujutsu and Taijutsu. Kaguya says, same Genjutsu, Ninjutsu, Taijutsu and Uriejutsu. My control is very good, Tsunade says, smirking. What about you, Naruto? Sarada asks. Ninjutsu, Taijutsu, Kenjutsu, Bujutsu and Fuinjutsu. Naruto says. I bet a few from civilian families may drop out, Tsunade says. Things have been easy so far, Naruto says. The four head to a sweet shop and they buy dango, sweet buns, cinnamon buns and a few cakes. Naruto tells Tsunade and Kaguya about his new sword given to him by Mikoto, a link to your mom. Kaguya says. Mom often talked about Lady Kushina too, Tsunade says, but their good moods were ruined as Kiba approaches with Sakura. How's it going, beta male? Kiba says, a mocking grin on his face. Yeah, why are you hanging with him? Especially you, Princess Tsunade, Sakura says, looking towards the 3 princesses. Kaguya and I are childhood friends with Naruto, Sarada says. He doesn't see as some pampered princess. He sees me and not my name, Tsunade says, glaring at the Pinkette, and Sakura shrinks away. Well, Harem, I'll prove to you that I am the alpha of our class and the loser a beta male orbiter, Kiba says, before walking off with Sakura. Maybe take a bath, Kaguya whispers, and the others softly laugh. Since the mood is being ruined, I'll see you all later. Hey, we can go shopping tomorrow. Since we need to wear a uniform now, Tsunade says. Sure. What time? Naruto asks. Let's meet at the village square under the clock at noon, Tsunade replies, before leaving. Well, see you tomorrow, Sarada says. Bye, Naruto, Kaguya says. Tomorrow, Naruto says, unaware 3 girls were plotting. I will make him mine, 3 girls thought. Naruto heads and changes into a tracksuit to finish his daily quest, but also tries a double cheeseburger with a soda from the store. It didn't compare to ramen, but it was a very close second. The next morning, Naruto wakes up at 5 again and does his daily quest, but sees a strange sight of a man with bowl cut, very large eyebrows and wearing green spandex. He uses observe and only gets the name Mike Guy. Weird, Naruto says, speeding up his run. Weird indeed. Also, we should meet face to face, Musashi says. Naruto reaches a park and sits on the ground to look at the morning sky. How he says. Lay back into my arms and I'll pull you in, Musashi says. Naruto lays on the grass and closes his eyes, but suddenly finds himself in an orchard of cherry blossom trees. This way, boya, Musashi says, her voice carrying on the wind. Naruto follows the stone path before him and reaches an open shrine, before going up the steps, but sees chains leading inside towards a seated figure. She is very beautiful with creamy white skin, long and sweeping darkish purple hair with 6 red whiskers on her cheeks. Her eyes are a luminescent hazel with black slit pupils, wearing a very revealing furosode kimono having several layers and fur-like trim. The colors a mixture of black, purple, light purple and blue. We meet at last, boya, Musashi says, as Naruto sees the chains around her wrists. and ankles. A Magatama necklace serves as collar, having seal on it and a hairpiece in her hair. Is this my mindscape? Naruto asks. It is, but it was much worse before things changed, Musashi comments, picking up a Kaizuru and taking a hit. What did you want to talk about? Naruto asks. We are forever linked, Boya. Meaning when you die. I die, Musashi starts and looks outside. So I wish to impart some history to you, she adds, and Naruto slowly nods. Our story begins with your little rabbit Kaguya, or her incarnation. Kaguya Otsutsuki. She was not from this world and from a dying race. She came to Earth with the Shinju, or God Tree, Musashi starts, and Naruto's eyes widen. The Shinju is the source of why humanity has chakra. Kaguya would meet the ruler of the nation of Sonokuni named Tenji, eventually falling in love with him. However, Tenji was convinced to hate Kaguya by those around him, so she fled with her trusted aide Ino, but what no one knew is that Kaguya was pregnant. Musashi continues and takes another puff from her Kaizuru. Once Ino learned of this, she attempted to stop her lord but paid the ultimate price. Left with no choice, Kaguya ate the fruit of the Shinju, granting her godlike power and turning her into the Usagi no Megami. Soon she would give birth to my creator Hagoromo Otsutsuki, and his twin Hemura Otsutsuki, the former humans, would come to know him as the Sage of Six Paths. Musashi continues. What happened to Tenji? Naruto asks. Tenji and most of the world were placed under infinite Tsukuyomi to feed the Shinju, but after her sons were born, she freed most to serve her, Musashi replies, and Naruto couldn't begin to fathom it. As Hagoromo and Hemura grew, they started to see their mother's true nature. Her godlike power had corrupted her. Due to this, Hagoromo awakened the sharing, and due to the loss of his first love through his mother's machinations, soon the brothers planned to stop their mother, which also lead to Hagoromo awakening the Rinnegan. Musashi continues. What? He had the Sharingan and Rinnegan, Naruto says, and Musashi nods. Hemura possessed the Byakugan. Now the battle between mother and sons lasted days, reshaping the land and eventually seeing Kaguya merge with the Shinju and becoming the Jubai. The battle soon reached its zenith, with Hagoromo sealing the Jubai inside him and becoming the first Jinchuriki. The husk of the Jubai would form the core of the moon, Musashi explains. The moon, Naruto says, and Musashi giggles. Yes, after defeating Kaguya, Hemura would guard the husk on the moon, and Hagoromo traveled the world, gaining followers and passing chakra to them, creating Ninshu to link others. Eventually he too had children, sons named Indra and Ashura, who would create the Uchiha and Senju. Also by offshoot the Uzumaki. Musashi continues. Seriously, Naruto says. Seriously, Indra inherited Hagoromo's eyes. Ashura inherited Hagoromo's body. Hagoromo trained his sons equally, but Indra excelled alone, while Ashura relied on others in bonds. Eventually Hagoromo sent his sons on journeys to decide who would lead the clan, eventually selecting Ashura for his actions. This infuriated Indra and led to a lifelong fissure between them that created the rivalry between the Uchiha and Senju. Though not so much with Tsunade and Sarada, Musashi explains, giggling softly. Now we get to the heart of the matter. My sibling's creation. At the end of his life, Hagoromo split the Jubai into 9 pieces, which became the 9 Biju. Musashi finishes. So the 9 of you scattered around and chakra spread to become commonplace, Naruto says. Yes, Ninshu became ninjutsu, and we 9 were captured by Hashirama Senju after my original self was summoned by Madara Uchiha. Your ancestor Mito sealed my original self to become the first Kyuubi Jinchuriki. Then your mother, and then you, Musashi says. Naruto cups his chin, thought about what Musashi just said. Could Madara have been the one to steal you from mom? But that's not possible, he says. True, and I remember Madara's dark chakra. So it was not him, Musashi says. So it would be someone powerful to control the strongest Biju. So we'll need more information, Naruto says. Agreed, now you may leave, Boya. Relax until to your little shopping date, Musashi says, and Naruto snaps awake to a light rain. He kips up and heads to Ikaraku for 15 bowls of ramen, but checks his stats between bowls. I leveled up, Naruto thought. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 12, 5,250 12,000th. Stats, HP, 13,500. CP, 12,500. CC, 22%. SDR, 50. SPD, 45. STA, 70. Dex, 40. Vit, 55. CHK, 75. Wise, 40. Stat points, 12. I'll add points to Wise, bring it to 45, and the rest to SPD, bring it to 52, Naruto thought. So what do you have planned for today? Iam asks, wiping the counter. Tsunade wants to go shopping, Naruto says, and Iam gives the redhead a look. So, a date, Iam says, and has a sly smile. Sarada and Kaguya are coming too, Naruto comments, after downing the broth of his 10th bowl. So a group date, Iam says. I don't know, maybe, Naruto says, blushing a little. Well, just be your normal charming self and things will be fine, Iam says. I'll try, Naruto says, and sucks up his last 5 bowls. See Iam, he says, leaving and heading home to take a shower. He takes a nap until about a half hour before noon and quickly gets dressed in shorts, a long-sleeve shirt, and a hoodie. Naruto leaves his place and takes to the roofs to reach the village square, but erases his presence to land on the large clock. He sees Sarada arriving first in a dark dress and a hoodie before dropping down next to her. Naruto, Sarada says, and the redhead gives her a 2-finger salute. You two are here first, Tsunade says, wearing a green blouse with white pleated skirt and fishnet tights. I am here and last, Kaguya says, wearing a light dress and a dark sweater. So where are we going shopping, Naruto asks. First we'll go get our new uniforms. Then a surprised Tsunade says. The four head to a shinobi clothing store to buy a dark blue long sleeve shirt and matching pants in their sizes. Tsunade then leads them to various shops and finally the main course. Why are we here, Sarada says. We're here to buy outfits for Naruto to judge and the one he likes the best will get to have a date with him, Tsunade says, and Naruto's eyes widen with his beak hitching. Wait, what, Naruto says, but sees the fire in the eyes of Kaguya and Sarada. Just accept it, Boya, Musashi says, and Naruto sighs. How many outfits, Kaguya says. 1, if I am judging. Then 1 is necessary, Naruto says. Deal, all 3 said, heading into the sea of clothes. A half hour passes and finally Naruto sits in front of 3 dressing rooms as the 3 girls prepare. Ready, Tsunade says. Yeah, Naruto says. Kaguya is first with a lavender turtleneck and a black tweed mini dress having a straight neckline, wide straps, V-back detail and comes to her mid-thigh, black stockings and black loafers. Beautiful, Naruto says, and Kaguya smiles. Sarada is next and has a white collared top with a black waist cincher, black shorts and matching ankle boots. Cute, Naruto says. My turn, Tsunade says, stepping out. She is wearing a short-sleeve button-up and a low-cut corset-style vest, shorts and white thigh-highs to show off her legs with high-heel boots. All right, Naruto. Who wins, Tsunade says, puckering her lips. Naruto looks between the 3 and really couldn't make a choice. Do I need to pick one, he says. Yes, all 3 says, but Tsunade sighs. Though I suspected this. You don't have to choose, Tsunade says, and look to the other 2 girls, since Naruto is the last male of his clan. He will eligible for the Clan Restoration Initiative, meaning he will need multiple women to bring his clan back, she explains. So we all can date, Naruto, Kaguya says, and Tsunade nods. Yes, but we have to decide who the head girl will be, so I propose. Whichever one of us makes Kunoichi of the year becomes head girl, Tsunade says. Naruto looks between the 3 to see Sarada and Kaguya fired up. Do I get say, he asks. No, all 3 reply. Now that we've decided, let's go to my house to have some food and you can meet Taunton, Tsunade says. The 3 girls pay for their outfits and wear them out as they make their way to the Senju compound. Has your dad come home, Naruto asks. No, the pervert is doing his research under the guise of the village spy network, Tsunade says. The blonde's parents are 2 of the legendary Sannin of Tobium Senju and Jurei Yagata. The cry would be my dad's dream, but he came from a civilian family and doesn't qualify, Tsunade says. The villagers give Tsunade, Sarada and Kaguya smiles or waves as they were tolerable of Naruto, but there were whispers of why he was with them. The Senju compound itself is near the northern part of the village and hidden by a forest created by the Shodaime. Tsunade leads them along the forested path once they pass through the gates, high trees giving shade from the harmful sun and the sounds of wildlife fill their ears, even seeing a few deer. They reach the home and it is a Japanese-style manor with a koi pond and a place of meditation. Hey Shizune, Tsunade calls out, seeing her mother's apprentice and surrogate big sister. Naruto tries to use Observe but can't as Shizune is Jonin level. I really need to level up my Observe, he thought. Shizune has black hair that frames her hair and covers her ears with onyx eyes, wearing a black-blue kimono having white rim and matching obai. Hello Sarada. Kaguya and Naruto. Shizune greets and each of them bow. Where's Mom? Tsunade asks. Doing her daily meditation, Shizune says, as a pig comes around the corner wearing a red vest and pearls. Bui, the pig says. This is Taunton. She's not food, Shizune says, leading them to Tobium. The older blonde is sitting cross-legged with her hands in her lap and eyes closed. She wears dark yoga pants and a sports bra with her blonde hair in a high ponytail. We're back, Mom, Tsunade says. Tobium opens her eyes to reveal hazel eyes and rises to her feet, giving Naruto a generous look at her body. Now you know what Tsunade will look like fully grown, Musashi says, as Naruto sniffles a little. So these are your new outfits. They look pretty, Tobium says, winking at the redhead. She leads them into the house for some snacks and let them know that she would help them with chakra control, Hurriejutsu if needed, and this causes Sarada to light up at the chance to learn from the legendary medic. The 3 would stay until around 4 and each parted from the Senju compound as Naruto would head for the dungeon to level up. The next day was pretty much the same with his daily quest and another dungeon run, continuing to prepare for the hidden dungeon boss. Kano Hagakure no Sato Hash. Naruto pants softly as he makes his daily 5 kilometers run with his face hidden by a hoodie and rain falling. It has been just over a week since his life changed somewhat for the better as his new gamer bloodline changed his life. Another week and he would challenge the hidden boss as he has 2 more attempts on the dungeon before it becomes unusable and he would move to a higher level. The changes enacted by Itachi allowed Naruto to see Mizuki fired for his actions against him and few other students as Anbu were watching. The former sent him out for the simplest of things with a smug look on his face, but when confronted broke the former Sandaime's law, which led to his firing but also his death. What kind of hidden boss will you encounter? Another type goblin, Musashi says, as Naruto finishes his run. Who knows, Naruto thought. 6 more days pass and the day is Sunday as Naruto is making his final prep for the hidden boss after finishing his dailies, but then checks his stats. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 17, 11,517,000th. Stats: HP 17,500, CP 17,500, CC 35%, STR 70, SPD 65, STA 85, Dex 50, Vit 75, CHK 95, Wise 50, Stat points 37. So the hidden boss will be LVL 37, but I'll level up by clearing the normal boss. Though I have another try, but why wait, Naruto says, securing his sword to his belt with the red cord. He's wearing black hybrid Hakama ninja pants with combat boots, a fitted dark top and sleeveless jacket having a hood with black gloves. He uses his remaining stat points on his dex, bringing it to 60, Wise to 60, SPD to 70, and the rest to STR, bringing that to 72. Naruto enters the dungeon and tears through the goblins in record time, dispatching the goblin champion and leveling up to level 18. You have successfully defeated the dungeon boss. Do you wish to challenge hidden boss? Yes, no. Naruto accepts and is transported not to another forest but to a large arena littered with broken weapons and ugly jagged scars gouged into the ground. People were in the crowd with a near-deafening roar as pillars of flames burst from the drop-off around the arena. Naruto sees not a goblin but a man wearing indigo to purple kimono with the right side of his chest and right arm exposed, black boots and black hair in a high ponytail. He has a cynical smile on his face and a sword resting on his left shoulder, his right resting inside his kimono. So I finally get to see the one killing goblins. Greetings, Goblin Slayer. Call me Shin, the man says. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto says, and Shin chuckles. And Uzumaki, that red hair should have been a dead giveaway, Shin says, as Naruto uses observe. Hidden dungeon boss, Shin. Rank, missing nin. Level 37. Stats, HP, 30,000. CP, 27,000. CC, 70%. STR 100, SPD 85, STA 85, Dex 100, Vit 100, CHK 90, Wise 90, Stat points 5, bonus per level, missing nin, gain 2 for each stat. Abilities, unknown, he is high Dex, STR and Vit, so I need to be smart and his abilities are unknown to Naruto thought. Well then Uzumaki, let's see how strong you are. Because the strong devour the weak, Shin declares, as flames rise. Naruto and Shin shoot forward with simultaneous swings as their swords clang loudly and both push on their blades as they scrap on one another, with Naruto breaking back into a leap, bringing his sword down and Shin blocking as the ground buckles underneath him. Naruto flips forward and swings behind Shin, but he blocks, nice reflexes. Though Shin says, pushing his sword forward and it ignites to cut open the redhead's right shoulder. Did he set the sword on fire with friction? Naruto thought. Shin drives his sword into the ground and drags it across a tearing row of flames, something Naruto narrowly dodges, but Shin raises his sword and sets it on fire with his sheath. Shin brings it down and slashes Naruto across the chest to send the redhead staggering back. So how does it feel to be cut and burned, Shin says. Naruto slows his breath and shoots forward with a Gatatsu strike, but Shin catches with blade between his gloved fingers, before yanking him forward into a crushing knee. Come now, Uzumaki. Don't disappoint me, Shin says, looking over Naruto. The redhead springs up with several precise swings as Shin parries, before igniting his sword once again and bring it down to burn Naruto's right hand. Are you confused, Uzumaki? Shin says, igniting it once again and bringing it down to create a near cage of flames around Naruto. Shin pushes through the flames and grabs Naruto by his jacket as the redhead smells something odd, but it is too late as Shin runs his sword along his glove, creating an explosion that tosses Naruto back as the crowd roars. As you languish on the ground, I'll tell you a secret about my sword. It never rusts, never dulls, and each person I kill leaves a little fat and oil to be set ablaze, Shin says. Naruto lays on his back as blood pours from his wound, but it slowly closes. Thanks Musashi, he thought, putting his remaining points into Dex. Uzumaki Ryu-style Kenjutsu, intermediate skills unlocked. Naruto gasps as more of his swordsmanship is unlocked and melded to his brain. A sword like that is very impressive, he says, his eyes starting to bleed red. Interesting. As his blood awakens, Shin thought. Naruto rushes forward with another Gatatsu strike and Shin parries, but the redhead chains it into a side-sweeping attack, forcing Shin to dodge. Naruto moves again, but with a running Ido draw that forces Shin on the back foot, but he jerks as a chain pierces his leg as he shunshin's back. You Uzumaki were always tricky with those chains, he says. Naruto sprints forward into another clash of swords, but this time is keeping up with Shin, breaking through his guard to slash his shoulder at the cost of Shin cutting his side. Shin grabs Naruto by the throat and lifts him off the ground, but the redhead brings his hilt down, causing Shin to ignite his glove and destroying his fingers. Clever brat, Shin says, glancing to his destroyed hand. Naruto has his sword in a high stance and his legs bent slightly. Shin ignites his sword into small fire cyclone as Naruto rockets forward. Uzumaki Ryu, tearing claws, the redhead calls out, bringing his sword down. Shin's chest bursts with blood as Naruto's attack connects and his attack burning the remains of the redhead's top, before crashing on his back with his eyes open. Hidden boss defeated. 20,000 EXP 75000 Ryo. Level up. Demonic Dungeon Level 5 open. Opponents will now be 10 levels more than yours, and the dungeon boss will be 15 levels above yours. Naruto falls on his bed after returning from the dungeon with his body still showing the scars from his fight with Shin. You did good, boy, Musashi says. Yeah, and thanks for the chakra aid. Still a long way to go, Naruto says. Thanks to Gamer Mind, he was not freaking out on killing Shin. You've killed so many goblins. Why feel disgusted, Musashi says. Shin was different. He talked. Though we were enemies, he was a person, Naruto says. Days would pass and it was sad as the redhead decides to check out the level 5 demon dungeon. He also learns he has inherited Shin's sword technique and his sword could ignite from friction but containing no fat or oil, instead using the chakra metal from his sword. Welcome to Demonic Dungeon Level 5. Quest received. 1. Defeat all the enemies within the dungeon. 2. Defeat the dungeon boss. Rewards. 120,000 XP. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 21, 5,000 21,000. Stats, HP, 21,500. CP, 21,500. CC, 35%. STR, 82. Esprit, 80. Sta, 100. Dex, 70. Vit, 95. CHK, 115. Wise, 70. Stat points, 15. Skill unlocked Kai Blasts or Energy Blasts. Use chakra to fire blasts of energy. Attacks can be purchased in store. Level 21. Plus energy attacks, Naruto says, as how to use such skills is melded once again to mind. The dungeon is a desert for miles as the redhead lifts off the ground but also erases his presence before bringing up the store. He buys the energy blade skill Shin Ritsuzan or God Slicer with its linked skills Violent God Slicer, Azure Dragon Sword and Scythe of Sorrow. Odd names, Musashi comments, and Naruto chooses Energy Waves Gallic Gun, Final Flash, Final Shine and Bararak Seika. This should be good enough for now, Naruto says, looking around and creates about a dozen clones. Spread out and practice our new skills, Naruto says, and they nod, flying off in different directions. He holds out his arm level with his shoulder and channels his chakra as his arm to his elbow is coated in glimmering blue energy. Intriguing, Naruto says, moving his arm around like a blade. He dispels his chakra sword and points his right hand but braces it with his left. Bararak Seika, Naruto says, before a wide lightning blast erupts. It meets the ground and explodes wildly but gets a prompt of 10 enemies dead. Really, Naruto says, landing by the wide burnt crater about 15 feet deep. He peers in and sees the charred corpses of large sandworms. It seems your enemy is subterranean, Musashi says. Seems so, Naruto says, creating a clone and it promptly dispelling to tell his other clones the discovery. He then tries another energy wave as green energy forms in his left hand. Final Shine, Naruto shouts, shooting his hand forward and the blast explodes out. A few more sandworm meet their end and more begin to attack as Naruto fires small blasts in a light blue color in every direction. Skill created, Bursting Machine Gun Blow. Half a day passes in the dungeon as Naruto kills sandworms with a combo of energy blast, his sword skills or hand-to-hand. The heat helps with his stamina but he needed buy water from the store but soon he would encounter the boss. The ground rumbles violently around Naruto and forces him to take to the skies, while the sand parts for nearly a mile as the sandworm boss rises. He looks nearly my size, Musashi says. The boss roars from his massive mouth as Naruto tries his new skill but it has no effect on the large worm. Looks like I have the speed advantage. Maybe I can use the Gallic Gun or Final Flash but there is the charge time, he thought. The redhead creates about 50 clones as he flies higher and raises his arms level as a blue flame aura surrounds Naruto as he charges his attack. Veins become pronounced on his arms and upper body as he brings his arms forward with his wrists touching and fingers spread. Greg, Engra, Naruto hisses as an orb of energy forms in his hands but tails of energy shooting off ever so often. The wind picks up from the amount of chakra Naruto is using as his clones keep the boss at bay. Now Final Flash. Iwug, he roars, his blast exploding forth with enough concussive force to destroy the boss. Naruto pants heavily as his vision blurs and he falls to the sands below but completes his quest. Quest completed. Level up. Awards, 20,000 EXP. Naruto awakes to knocking and finds himself in his bed. Who could that be, he says, heading to the door and opening. A pair of breasts hit him in the face with loud laughing. How's it going, Chibai? A voice says, before the redhead looks up. Oh, it's you, Naruto says. I'll be more enthusiastic. It's your Anu. The merry but sexy Anko Haddock, the woman crows. Sorry, Anu. I woke up from a weird dream, Naruto says, inviting her inside. Anko has violet hair and a fan ponytail, wearing a mesh bodysuit, jean short shorts, a tan trench coat and shin guards with sandals. What about, Anko asks. I was fighting sandworms and one was huge, Naruto says, and uses observe on Anko but her level hovers at 40 due to an abnormal status. Quest received, save Anko Haddock. 1. Remove Anko's curse mark. Rewards, 115,000 XP. 2 plus 1,000 rep with Anko. 3 plus 500 rep with Kakashi. 4. That's weird, Chibai Anko says. So what brings you by, Naruto asks, logging into his head to work on his Fuinjutsu to help Anko. Guy told Kashi he saw you doing some exercises. So as your big bro he got concerned, Anko says, sitting on the sofa as he makes some tea. Well, I decided to do some serious physical training, Naruto says. Well, that's good. The Godam's new training for the academy will help too, Anko says. Naruto places her tea down and takes the recliner. So how's your love life, Anko says, and Naruto blushes as she giggles. Well, there is the Senju heiress, Hyuga heiress and Uchiha heiress. Tough choices. Though you may not have to, Anko says. If you only knew, but the number will be 6, Naruto thought and rubs his neck. Think so, he says. Yeah, you're the last of your clan. So you're entitled to the cry, Anko says. Tsunade said the same, Naruto says, and Anko smirks, drinking her tea. Well, I look forward to your harem, Chibai. Kashi will be so proud, Anko says, finishing her tea and ruffling his red hair before leaving. Naruto would continue splitting time in dungeons and going to the academy, with the Sandworm dungeon's hidden boss being an even larger sandworm. He would hold off on dungeons and focused on the academy as his dailies were helping him level up, but also hanging with Tsunade. Sarada and Kaguya would eat into his time, also working on his Fuinjutsu. A year would pass and Naruto is entering his 4th year at the academy, with about 3/4 of the civilian-born ninja quit. 1 year later, 14-year-old Naruto sits in his class as his thoughts were on trying a dungeon for the first time in a year. His dailies were sufficient enough to help him level up to level 53. His stats were all well over 100. His observe could now see Jonin level and many were 70 and above, his big bro Kakashi near 90. Itachi sits at 100, same as Tsunade's mom and the former Sandame. Due his Saiyan body he would surpass 100, though there could be those surpassing 100 outside the village. He also unlocked the Kaioken, a technique capable of increasing his power for a heartbeat. His strength, speed, and even his sensory awareness is greatly increased for an instant, but it is extremely taxing on the body and he is working on stamina. He can currently maintain Kaioken ×3 for a total of 7 seconds thanks to his clones. The max of Kaioken is ×100, but he could also chain it with SSJ in higher forms. Perhaps by the time you graduate, you will have achieved SSJ, Musashi says. Maybe. Dailies aren't doing much anymore, so I'll need dungeons, Naruto thought, glancing around the class. Hiba is glaring at him as his alpha ego couldn't best him in spars, so he resorted to spreading rumors through Sakura and cronies. They would complain he is cheating in their matches or on tests, but could never give any evidence of it. He should sooner or later get it into his head you are stronger than him, boya, Musashi says. Maybe, Naruto thought. Classes soon end and Naruto leaves with his trio, but they see Kakashi standing at the gate with an orange in his hand. He has silver hair with his Hidai-8 covering his left eye and a cloth mask over the lower half of his face, wearing the standard Konoha attire. He is such a perv, even though he's married, Tsunade says. Because he reads your dad's book in public, Naruto says, and the blonde nods. Even Sarutobi Jissen reads them, Tsunade adds. Hello, princesses, Kakashi says. What brings you here, Naruto says. Wanted to see you, Kakashi says, as the four follow the Jonin before the girls break off. Have you done your affinity yet, Kakashi says. No, not yet, Naruto says, and Kakashi hands him a slip of paper. Well, let's find out, Kakashi says. Naruto looks over the paper and channels his chakra as it splits in half, with one half becoming wet and the other burning. Oh, futon, suiton and katten, Kakashi says, and gives his sensei's son an eye smile. 3 affinities. You will have quite the arsenal, he adds. Naruto smiles and may check the store for some jutsu on top what the academy will teach. Will you show me how change my chakra, he says. Sure, I'll ask the Hokage about teaching you another jutsu that will aid you, Kakashi says. It may mean the Cage Bunshin, Musashi says, and Naruto mentally nods. Kakashi would take Naruto to one of the training grounds and show him the basics on change in chakra nature. For his 3 affinities he would have to be able to cut a leaf for wind, burn a leaf for fire, and wet a leaf for water. In turn, Naruto would reveal his energy blasts by passing things off as the reading about the Uzumaki and their ability to create chains with their chakra. Kakashi would ask for a demonstration and Naruto would do some weaker energy blast, even showing his God Slicer, Violent God Slicer, Azure Dragon Sword, and Scythe of Sorrow. Kakashi is both shocked and impressed, but also thought Naruto has the naming sense as his father, though also thought Azure Dragon Sword and Scythe of Sorrow were cool. Well, Naruto, I'll speak to the Hokage about things, so meet me here after class tomorrow, Kakashi says and vanishes with Leaf Shunshin. Naruto heads home and changes into a dark jumpsuit for the dungeon, also stocking up on food and water in case of extended time inside. He enters the dungeon and finds himself in another forest, but more foreboding than his first dungeon. Welcome to Demonic Dungeon level 15. Enemies will be 20 levels higher and dungeon boss 35 levels higher. New feature, checkpoints, which will allow you to leave a dungeon without losing rewards. Can only be done once per dungeon level, so choose wisely. Quest received. 1. Defeat all the enemies within the dungeon. 2. Defeat the dungeon boss. Rewards, 150000 XP. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 53, 88, 586 over 310, 0. Stats, HP, 61,500. CP, 61,500. CC, 65%. SDR 150, SPD 140, STA 200, Dex 110, VIT 150, CHK 160, WISE 120, Stat points 0. Checkpoints will be a big help, but only once is a drag, Naruto says, and several Nara sneeze. He creates several dozen clones and sends them to work on the Kaioken but also deal with enemies as well. Naruto moves around the forest and after about 15 minutes encounters a group of enemies resembling humanoid wolves. I found Kiba's own kind, he says, and uses observed to learn they are called beastmen. The beastmen growl as Naruto remains calm as their Kai is not affecting him. Alright, let's go, he says, running towards them. The group of 6 rush forward as the redhead leaps over a wide swipe into a spinning wheel kick, snapping one's head and slicing another with God Slicer. A third swings a claw strike, but Naruto dispels God Slicer and grabs the arm into a judo toss, before grabbing its leg and sending it into a fourth as both crash into a tree. The fifth grabs Naruto from behind, but the red uses his legs to crash his knee into its snout, causing it to let him go, and an energy blast puts it down. The last runs off, but suddenly something slices it down the middle. A big boy, Naruto says. A larger beastman, easily about 9 feet tall, appears with long claw dripping with blood from its dead kin. It roars loudly and Naruto has to cover his ears but has the wherewithal to duck under its wide swipe. Clever boy, Naruto thought, connecting with a body blow and dodging its downward counterattack. He turns and runs towards a tree as the beastman follows, but Naruto runs up said tree as it crashes into it, allowing Naruto to land and kill it with his machine gun blows. The boss will perhaps be even larger, Musashi says. Probably, Naruto says. It would be near midnight when Naruto finds the boss, encountering various beastmen of various animals. Some were cat, lizard, jackal, eagle, and dragon-like. The boss is in a large area and sitting on a throne of bones with a very muscular body and a lion's head. Musashi had been right, as the boss is easily 20 feet tall and uses observe, with its level being nearly 75. It can also summon minions, but also its regeneration is high and can harden its skin. The boss roars loudly and his minions appear with chattering noises as Naruto lowers his stance and unleashes his aura-like blue flame around his body. Naruto releases a long breath and rockets forward as the minions do the same. He meets them with fists, elbows, headbutts, knees, shins, and kicks. Final shine, Naruto shouts, erasing a swath of minions as the boss growls and rises to its feet. It grabs a very large Tetsubo as its steps crack the ground and swings its weapon, but Naruto dodges as the boss kills its minions. No care for minions, it seems, Naruto says, dodging another swing. He lands on the boss arm holding the Tetsubo and runs up the length into a leap, firing a blast of energy into its face. The boss staggers back but swings its free arm into Naruto and sends him flying, but the redhead halts in air. That would have broken me a year ago, Naruto says. The boss roars and fires a fire cyclone from its mouth as Naruto flies around it to bring out his Azure Dragon sword. Naruto swings his energy sword in a odd dance, but several javelins of energy pierce the boss in several spots before Naruto halts with his left knee up, his left hand forward, and his energy sword aiming down over his head. The javelins explode and knocks the boss on its back, but it slowly rises with its wounds healing as Naruto ceases his energy sword. Kaioken X3, Naruto shouts. A red and fiery aura surrounds his whole body and his clothes, acquiring a reddish tint too, even bristling his hair and his clothes. Naruto curls his fingers and places both his hands together at chest level facing the same direction. Fuchsia red energy forms. Gallic gun, he shouts, firing a large beam. It digs through the boss and forces it on its back. It seems its regeneration is trying to keep up and Naruto grits his teeth. Kaioken. NJHHH. X5. He roars, and the beam expands to destroy the boss. Boss defeated. Rewards, 150000 XP. Shinbureku. The next day Naruto heads to the academy, and today is the Shogi Go tournament, but meeting Kakashi after the academy, Kaioken really shreds the body. I could barely move after using ×5, he thought. If you didn't have Uzumaki and me, you would not be walking today, Musashi says. Naruto enters class and sees the trio sitting near the top row before giving each a wave, his thoughts on their goal being head girl when graduate. I believe the little Senju may win out, though the Hyuga is a close second, Musashi says. Naruto, mother has invited you to dinner, Kaguya says. Oh, what time, and should I bring something, Naruto says. 5 and cinnamon buns, Kaguya says. Of course, Sarada and Tsunade thought. Classes go by as normal and the Shogi Go matches begin, as each have matches with Naruto besting Kiba and others, but Shikamaru is always a challenge. You're getting better, Naruto, Shikamaru says, winning their match. Thanks, Shika, Naruto says. The day finishes and Naruto meets Kakashi and is right, he got permission from the Hokage to teach him the Kage Bunshin, before heading home and preparing to head to the Hyuga. I'll have to fake learning the jutsu, Naruto thought. Give it a few days, Musashi says. Naruto takes a shower and dresses in black slacks with matching shoes and a white button-up, before heading to the sweet shop and buying a dozen cinnamon buns. The Hyuga have one of the larger clan compound and he arrives about 20 minutes before 5, their guards letting him inside and one guiding him to the main house. Hello, Naruto, Kaguya says, waiting at the entrance with her little twin sisters Hinata and Hanabi. Naruto is glad Hinata didn't vanish when he chose Kaguya, but she is still shy as ever, hiding behind Kaguya's leg and Hanabi confidently at her older sister's side. Lady Kaguya. I'll take Lady Hinata and Lady Hanabi, their attendant, Natsu says, and guides the 4-year-olds away. Father and mother are waiting, Kaguya says, taking the buns from him. Naruto slips off his shoes and follows Kaguya to the dinner room, complete with low tables and cushions. Hayashi sits at the head of the table with a serious demeanor, and Hitomi to his left with a smile on her face. Naruto. How good of you to join us, she says. Thank you for inviting me, Naruto says, bowing. Take a seat next to Neji, Hayashi says. Naruto sees the stoic Hyuga and takes his seat, but he did not greet the redhead, just a curt nod. Neji didn't like him or Kaguya for that matter because of the Kumo affair she told him about, losing his father and blaming her for it. Food is being served and Naruto glances to Kaguya's parents. Her mother adores him and her father tolerates him despite his good rep with the Hyuga clan. Dinner is quiet affair as the Hyuga were not much for talking during dinner compared to Sarada and Tsunade's family. He would soon be brought to another room for tea to allow Kaguya and Hitomi to devour their prey of cinnamon buns. The twins were here but no Hayashi or Neji. Naruto, do you believe you will become Rookie Shinobi of the Year when you graduate? Hitomi asks. That's still 2 years away, but I'll try, Naruto replies, and Hitomi covers her mouth to laugh at how adorable he is. Kaguya told me about her bet with Sarada and Tsunade. Because of it I have been stepping up her training. I know you would want a strong head wife, Hitomi says, and Kaguya blushes brightly. What's a wife? Hanabi asks, and Hitomi pulls her into her lap. A wife is a woman who is married like me or Lady Tobium or Lady Mikoto, to name a few, Hitomi explains. So Kaguya Nisama will be in Naruto's wife? Hinata asks. Not yet, but someday. Far down the road, Hitomi says, and Naruto looks down, his cheeks matching his hair. Naruto would stay at the Hyuga until around 7 and bid them goodnight to make his way home in Red Light District, but suddenly a prompt appears. Special quest received. Aid Hanayama Kaoru. Rewards, 125000 XP. 3750 Rep Hanayama. Choose Summon Scroll. Special quest A summon scroll would come in handy, Naruto thought, rushing to find Hanayama. It doesn't take long to find Hanayama as numerous Yakuza were fighting near a bar, but the sight is very tall man in a torn-up white suit on one knee and an equally tall man standing over him. Ha! I knew poison would do the trick and negate that freakish strength of you, the man says. Boss, another man shouts, being held down by a few men. Several see him as their boss monologues. What are doing here, kid? One says, looking like some atypical Yakuza. I'm here to help Hanayama, Naruto says, and both men laugh as one reaches to grab him. Naruto judo tosses him to break some of his teeth as he crashes to the ground, and this gets the attention of others. The second swings a fist, but Naruto cracks him with a counter, dropping him like a sack of potatoes. Who is that brat? The boss shouts and orders his men to deal with Naruto. Hanayama sees Naruto fighting his rival's men and making short work of them, so that is Naruto Uzumaki the Jinchuriki, he thought. Veins bulge on the rival boss Goto as Naruto tears through him. Men, his plan of moving into Konoha failing, and some punk kid is the reason. How hard is it to kill some kid? Goto roars, stomping towards Naruto, but the redhead crashes his dress shoes into Goto's face. He recovers and swings some heavy but wide swings as Naruto uses his small stature to his advantage, his hummingbird taijutsu to land counters or crippling blows. However, Naruto's eyes bulge as Goto sends a heavy kick and doubles him over, but the redhead uses Kawarami with one of his goons as Goto comes down with a double sledge. Naruto wipes some slobber from his mouth and calls on a little of Musashi's chakra as Goto tears off his suit top, showing off his honed muscles. I don't know who you are, brat, but you're gonna die, Goto says, icily. Naruto keeps a tight guard ready as Goto rushes forward again, but the redhead connects with a knee to his chin into a flurry of punches to his chest. Naruto clenches his right into a leaping uppercut and breaking Goto's chin as he falls to his knees, before Naruto focuses his chakra to his right, but a hand lands on his shoulder. Leave it to me, Uzumaki, Hanayama says. Naruto watches in mild shock as Hanayama grabs Goto by the throat and literally tears it out with his fingers. Quest completed. Rewards, 125000 XP. 2750 Rep Hanayama. 3 Summon Scroll. Hanayama turns his attention to Naruto as he wipes his hand on a cloth. You helped me, Hanayama says, and Naruto nods. Thank you. You have my respect, Naruto Uzumaki, he adds. You know me, Naruto says. Not much goes on here, I don't know, Hanayama says, and beckons for the redhead to follow him. Naruto looks Hanayama, and he is easily 6'3" with a muscular body under his white suit and scars on his face. So who is that guy? Naruto asks. He sought to move my family but used weak tactics, Hanayama says, as they reach a nightclub. Several girls smile and wave as Naruto follows Hanayama inside to office as nightgoers were having fun. Since you are aspiring to become a shinobi, I can offer you this as a token of thanks, Hanayama says, grabbing a medium-sized scroll with a green cord wrap. Are you sure? Naruto says. Hanayama places the scroll into Naruto's hand with his eyes hidden by the glint of his glasses. Call it an investment, Hanayama says. Naruto clutches the scroll and bows at the waist. Thank you, sir, he says. When you graduate, come here and I'll have one of my girls make you a man, Hanayama says. Naruto leaves the club and makes his way, but his face turns red as he realizes Hanayama wanted him to sleep with a hooker. It would prepare you for your harem, boya, Musashi says. He makes it home and uses observe on his new summon scroll as it says is for the Oni summon clan. Oni, Naruto says. Violent creatures but bring good fortune and some are able to fly, Musashi says, and Naruto's eyes widen. The next off day from the academy, Naruto would show Kakashi his new summon scroll and explain how he got it. The famed copy ninja is shocked and astonished that a person like Hanayama had such a scroll in his possession. Kakashi would take Naruto to Itachi and register it with the village, but also begin to show him how to summon, also showing him how to sign said contract in blood. Shinburaku. Alright Naruto, prick your finger and weave the signs, before slamming your hand on the ground or clapping your hands together, Kakashi says. It has been about a month since Naruto has signed the contract. Let's see your Oni, Tsunade says, as Sarada and Kaguya were watching as well. Naruto bites his thumb and weaves the signs boar, dog, bird, monkey and ram. Fuchio's no jutsu, Naruto declares, clapping his hands, and a large puff of smoke erupts before he narrowly dodges a blade. The smoke dies down to reveal a humanoid man with long crimson hair tied in a ponytail, amber-brown eyes and a set of dual-colored horns. He wears a long white shirt, brown pants held up by a belt adorned with large Magatama beads, as well as long white socks and sandals. Where am I? The Oni says and sees Naruto, but his eyes widen at the redhead's power. I summoned you. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto says. I see. I am Hero and I apologize for drawing my blade on you, the Oni says, sheathing his Nagamaki that is tall as him. Are you the boss summoned? Sarada says, and Hero looks her way. Oh, I am Sarada Uchiha. They are Tsunade Senju, Kaguya Hyuga and Kakashi Haddock, she adds. No, that would be Benimaru, Hero says. So what does it entail for Naruto to be accepted as your summoner? Kakashi says. I will summon our elder and he will be judged, Hero says, and slams his sword down, and another puff of smoke erupts. It dies down to reveal an older-looking Oni having silver hair, two white, ivory-like horns, a long silver goatee and sharp eyes. He wears a white overcoat, covered on the shoulders and neck by a pale brown and matching scarf. Oh ho ho, what do we have here? Hero the elder says, stroking his beard. His name is Naruto and he summoned me, Elder Hakiru, Hero says. Hakiru looks over Naruto as a third opens over his forehead. I see. You are very interesting, young Naruto, and I believe you can bring our forgotten clan back to prominence. So I accept you as our summoner. Now remove your shirt and turn around, he says. Naruto does as he is told and shows his back to Hakiru before the old Oni places his hands on the redhead's back. He yelps in pain as the tattoo of a red Oni and blue Oni fighting appears, and on that day the first summoner of the Oni clan in decades is born. 2 years later, 16-year-old Naruto sits on the bank of the river that runs through the village, his thoughts on being on the cusp of reaching LVL 100 and with it SSJ. The last 2 years has grinding dailies and beating dungeons to reach his point, but also endless training. He sits unchallenged at the academy, but Kiba seems to refuse to believe it. Upon graduation he would be apprenticed to Kakashi and work as a solo team due to his cage bunshin. The hidden boss should put you over 100, Musashi says. Yeah, Naruto says. You graduate in 2 days, right? A voice says, and Naruto looks back to see Hanayama. The pair have become decent friends over the past 2 years and great sparring partner. Yeah, Naruto says. Hanayama chugs from a bottle of bourbon with his eyes on the redhead. Still want my offer from our first meeting? Hanayama says. No, those 3 would skin me alive, Naruto says. Those 3 are fiercely protective of you, Hanayama says. Naruto gets to his feet and he now stands about 5'8", with his body being muscular, flexible, and durable, having a few scars but his back unblemished. He moves up the bank to bump fist with Hanayama and makes his way home as one goal is on his mind. He reaches home and makes a shadow clone to watch things but work on a project. Finish working on Anu's seal breaker. Once graduation happens, Kakashi may let me do it, Naruto says, and the clone nods. Checkpoint. Do you wish to challenge Hidden Boss? Yes, no. Hidden Boss challenge. Defeat Unchained. User transported to Unchained's domain with restrictions in place. Kai Blasts, Chakra Chain, Flight, Kaioken and Uzumaki Ryu style Kenjutsu. Rewards, 1250000 XP. To unlock special area, world will change. Naruto is transported to a very small room of 8 by 8 feet or smaller with his arms above and behind his head, special area. What does that mean, he says, moving his arms and finds his thumbs are locked. Suddenly the metal door to his right groans in tears as the metal twists at the handle, before being ripped open by a man. Greetings, player, the man says, walking in after tossing the door aside. He is dark-skinned man standing about 6'3" and packed with muscle in a black 3-piece suit. How strong do you have to be to twist metal like that? Naruto thought and uses observed, but his eyes widen. His STR is at 1000. He thought, it must be Unchained, Musashi says. Unchained looks over Naruto and touches his body in places. So, when do you wish to fight? I can provide a stage for us to fight, Unchained says, smiling. No need for that. We don't need to wait, Naruto says. You want to fight right here, Unchained says. Naruto wastes no time with a rising knee into a kick to the throat as he lands, sending Unchained into the wall and spilling blood, but the large man slams a palm into the redhead. Naruto crashes through the wall as Unchained flexes out of his suit and leaving it standing, leaving him wearing a tiger speedo. Then let's begin, player, Unchained says. Naruto breaks his cuffs and punches Unchained's gut, but he grabs Naruto's arm and pulls him back through the wall, grabbing his ankle and starts flinging the redhead like one would put a sheet on a clothesline. Naruto couldn't make head or tails of things before Unchained lets him fly up, only for him to spear them through several walls. Unchained picks Naruto up and tosses him into the steel door with a thud into a weighted punch with enough force to rip it off its hinges, sending Naruto off some railing and falling about 20 feet. "Seems we're in a prison," Musashi says, as Unchained lands near him. Naruto tries to move but Unchained grabs his ankle and flings him like wet towel with enough force to crack the concrete floor a foot deep. "Is that all, player?" Unchained says. Naruto slowly starts to move and rises to his feet with this air about him before removing his shirt to reveal the dueling Oni on his back. "Thanks for the wake-up call," he says, and Unchained chuckles, raising his arms. Naruto readies to attack but Unchained shocks him by manipulating his muscles and becomes an almost complete sphere. "What?" Naruto says and sends a heavy punch into Unchained but it has no effect. "His muscles are very defined and may dampen your attacks," Musashi says. Naruto clenches his left arm as his veins become pronounced into a heavy step but Unchained grabs his hand and opens like the jaws of a giant predator. He pulls Naruto in like he is eating the redhead, before spitting him like a piece of gum. Unchained looms over Naruto and raises his foot to bring it on but the redhead snaps awake to roll away from each. Naruto rises but Unchained slips back into his ball and this time the redhead is ready by letting himself be caught and drives fingers in his nose. Unchained cries out in pain and sends Naruto crashing back with a backfist but he recovers, shooting forward as both connect with heavy blows. "Keep pushing, boya," Musashi says. Naruto and Unchained keep punching with blood flying but the latter is being pushed back until Unchained's back hits the wall. "Haikuretsu Ken," Naruto roars, with 100 fists slamming into Unchained until he falls on his butt. Hidden boss defeated. Rewards: 1250000 XP. 2 unlock special area. Level up. Quest received. Awakened at last. Defeat. Rewards: 1 SSJ unlocked. Naruto now finds himself back in Konoha but the village is smoldering from unprecedented destruction. What the hell happened? Is this what was meant by special area? He says, running through the streets and finding scores of dead but 2 he immediately recognizes. "Kakashi, Tenu," Naruto shouts, rushing to the downed bodies. Kakashi is shielding Anko with a sword through his back and her chest as Naruto falls to his knees. Who could have done this? Naruto says. "I do not know, boya," Musashi says. Naruto slowly closes their eyes and springs to his feet as tears fill his eyes but he has to find someone alive. He continues to search and finds the likes of Shikamaru, Choji, Ino, Tuchai, Ayame, Hanayama, Hitomi, Makoto, Tobium, Shizune, Taunton, and even Itachi. In Naruto a voice calls and Naruto sees Sarada on the ground with a hole in her stomach. "Sarada," Naruto says, reaching her. Sarada weakly reaches her hand up to his face as he kneels. "He came in the blackness," she says. "Hey," Naruto says. "He was too strong. And no one was safe. He took Kaguya and Tsunade to the town square," Sarada says, her hand falling and face unmoving. Naruto clenches his fist to the point of bleeding and punches the ground next to them as it fractures. "I'll make him pay," he hisses. He rises to his feet and rushes to the center of the village and violently murder the person responsible for killing his precious people. Naruto reaches the center of Konoha and his eyes widen in horror as a figure shrouded in shadows is holding Kaguya and Tsunade by the throat, and Naruto both choke out. "How good of you to finally join us, Ninjin," the figure says. "Let them go," Naruto shouts but the figure only laughs. "Why should I, and if you wish to know my name, call me Rose," the figure says. "Why have you done this?" Naruto says, his anger boiling. "I simply did it on a whim as something I wanted to say. However, it was you who pushed me to this." "Beta male," Rose says, and Naruto's eyes narrow but his eyes widen in horror as Rose atomizes both. Naruto's body trembles as he falls to his knees and Rose is revealed to be Kiba but his brown hair is pastel pink color with faint white highlights. "I now see why you were always so strong. Now I have the same power as you, meaning I am the true alpha male of our species and every female is mine," Kiba shouts. Naruto doesn't hear Kiba's ranting but replays the deaths of everyone and this rage fills his body as he grips the dirt. "Huh," Kiba says, as the wind picks up. The source being Naruto as dark clouds move across the skies of Konoha and the ground cracks around the redhead, his body trembling in rage as veins bulge on his arms and his red hair spikes up, giving it a rise, flame-like appearance. Naruto rears up with an echoing roar of rage as his body explodes with golden energy and it dies down to reveal Naruto now on his feet, his red hair now a golden blonde along with his eyebrows. His azure blue eyes are now a pupil less greenish blue, his muscle tone more defined, and his skin tone now lighter with a pulsing, flame-like aura. "Kiba, why you will pay?" Naruto roars, his aura explodes and rushes towards Kiba. He flares his dark pastel pink aura but Naruto slams a punch into his gut and his eyes wide out, sending him crashing through several buildings. Kiba recovers but it is too late as a large yellow blast atomizes him like he did Kaguya and Tsunade. Naruto hovers above the crater with a blank face as prompt appears. Quest complete. Rewards: 1 SSJ unlocked. Naruto awakes on his bed with a start. Was that all real, he thought, rubbing his face and sitting up. "I don't believe so. Perhaps a means to awaken SSJ state," Musashi says. Naruto goes in the bathroom and does his business. "Seems so real though," he says, getting dressed in his academy uniform. He makes himself some breakfast of a dozen eggs, adding cheese, bacon, and slices of toast bread before starting on his dailies, which have doubled, and he can use shadow clones. Now to see it in action, Naruto says, making some clones and erasing his presence to enter a training ground to make one more clone. Okay, transform, Naruto says. The clone focuses and his muscles become more defined as his hair raises, flashing between red and golden blonde as his golden aura explodes. Naruto stares with wide eyes at the sight of his SSJ self, so that what it looks like from the outside, and he says, how can we swing this for training? The clone says, I'll have to send some reinforced clones outside the village, Naruto says, dispelling his clone. He makes his way to the academy and sees the others arriving, but his face scrunches at the sight of Kiba and keeps calm. It wasn't him, he thought. Naruto, Kaguya says, and Naruto turns with a smile. She has grown more beautiful in these 2 years, her snow white in a high ponytail and a bust to match a certain blonde. Hey, you toot, Tsunade says, her blonde hair short in a bun and clocking in at 106 centimeters. Hey, Sarada says, annoyed at her stacked friends. So today is the day, Naruto says, pushing the quest events to the back of his mind. Indeed, the three said. They head inside as several were looking in jealousy towards the trio and rage towards Naruto, but knew better to mess with him. Everyone is milling about and talking as Iruka, and he calls for them to sit down for the written test, being the first part. Naruto goes through his test but decides to check his stats as he does. Strongest in the village, Musashi says. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Title, Heir of Uzumaki Clan. Level 100, 232, 500, 780th, 0. Stats, HP, 135,000. CP, 135,500. CC, 85%. SDR, 560. SPD, 550. STA, 710. Dex, 540. Vit, 860. CHK, 1580. Wise, 230. Stat points, 5. Maybe, but I should keep going, Naruto thought, and thinks of Unchained Strength. He soon finishes his test and places his head down until the other finish their tests. Adding his points into SDR bring him to 565. Teachers collect their tests and lead them outside for their accuracy test on stationary but also static targets. Clan children make various scores between 17 to 20, with Sarada getting a perfect score compared to Kaguya and Tsunade. Naruto gets a perfect score as well. The Kiba's Ire and Civilian get close 15 or below, with Sakura getting that. Look like I am ahead, Sarada says. By one, Tsunade says, and Kaguya nods. Naruto ignores them to talk with Shikamaru and Choji about a few things, but mainly food, the redhead bringing up cheeseburgers, and this causes Choji to want to try it. Naruto told his rotund friend that he could invite him and Shikamaru for burgers. Come to my place at 6, Naruto says, and both nod. Us too. I'll invite Ino as well, Sarada says, and Naruto nods. So a graduation party, she adds. Again another nod. The final part of the test is dispelling a genjutsu, demonstrate their skills for their chosen skill set. Each prospective genin head to the testing area when their name is called and returning with or without hit I-8. Kiba comes back with a smug look on his face, but it didn't matter Naruto as he has Shinobi Rookie of the Year locked. Each of the trio pass in their own way and each hoping to be Kunoichi of the Year, winning the title of head wife for Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki, a teacher, calls out. Naruto head to the area and immediately dispels the genjutsu. Good. Now demonstrate your ninjutsu. Taijutsu, Kinjutsu, Bujutsu and Fuinjutsu, another teacher says. Naruto faces a teacher in a taijutsu spar and his skills are fluid with no wasted movements, adding some bujutsu into it as well. Ninjutsu, a teacher says. Naruto starts by weaving signs to bird into clapping his hands and uses the gale palm, then more signs to tiger and sets a magically appearing card on fire, lastly signs to dog for several Mizu Shuriken. 3 affinities with such an ease of transition, Iruka says. Naruto raises his sleeve and applies chakra to a seal on his wrist and a Bakken appears, Fuinjutsu, and lastly Kinjutsu, he says. One of the Ambu having a Nico mask appears. I will be your partner, she says. Thank you, Nico, Naruto says. Iruka and the other teacher watch the elegant dance of swords by Naruto and Nico. While she holds the advantage, Naruto keeps up. Enough, Naruto. You've passed, Iruka says. Naruto and Nico bow to one another before she vanishes and he takes his hit I-8. Now then. Time to collect the rest of my harem and work my way to SSJ4, he thought. Kano Hagakure no Sato Hash. Naruto stares at himself in a full-length mirror at his mission attire for the foreseeable future, buying said items from the store and adding some Fuinjutsu touches. First is a pair cargo pants that taper into a Skinner look near the end and look like stonewashed jeans, a black belt and work boots having orange laces, also having seals to reduce their sound. A long-sleeve white shirt having no collar and black flames on the sleeves but also chain suspender designs on it too. A pair of white gloves having black fingers, and lastly a sleeveless but hooded jacket having chain designs in the form the Uzumaki swirl. Not bad, boy, Musashi says. Thanks, Naruto says, making some breakfast of a dozen blueberry biscuits with PB&J and half-gallon of milk. He makes some clones to do his dailies and heads for the academy for team placements with his thoughts on how to pass SSJ off as some Uzumaki clan secret. Perhaps the use of my chakra. There is also that silver tongue skill you bought on a whim, Musashi says. That could work, Naruto thought, soon reaching the academy and sees Sarada waiting at the gates. She's wearing a dark blue sleeveless kippao shirt with her clan's fan crest on the back, a pair of lilac shorts, dark blue thigh-length stockings, black shinobi boots and long dark blue arm warmers, her Hidaite on her forehead. "Hey Naruto," Sarada says, and Naruto waves as they head inside. Hinata and Tsunade were already inside with other genin milling about discussing teams or ideals teams for themselves. "Hey," Tsunade says. She's wearing a dark green-black sports bra and black pants that reach down to her shins, having white trimmings and matching socks with brown calf-high combat boots, forearm-length gloves and a black denim jacket with 2 long sagging straps along the sides. "Hello," Kaguya adds. She wears a form-fitting light lavender, sleeveless kimono-style blouse with vertical lines, tied with a dark purple obi around her waist, short dark navy shorts, thigh-high stockings and calf-length boots. They take their seats and wait for Uruka to announce teams, but Shinobi and Kunoichi of the year, now we'll see all 3 thought. After about 15 minutes, Uruka arrives with a clipboard and gives a generic speech about it was an honor to teach them before starting on teams. Team 5 commanded by Anko Hadake will be our Kunoichi of the year. He starts and 3 lean forward. Tsunade Senju, Sarada Uchiha and Kaguya Hyuga, Uruka says, and Tsunade pumps her fist as he announces Team 6 and both glare at the blonde but accept things for now. Team 7 will be a solo team with our Rookie of the Year Naruto Uzumaki and commanded by Kakashi Hadake, Uruka says, and gets a few shouts of disbelief, but he counters with the Hokage choosing the teams. Team 8 under the command of Kurenai Yui will have Shino Aburame, Sakura Haruno and Kiba Inuzuka. Team 9 is active, and last Team 10 under the command of Asuma Sarutobi is Shikamaru Nara. Ino Yamanaka and Choji Akamichi. He finishes, giving another speech and excuses himself. "Why do you get a solo team?" Uzumaki, Kiba says, approaching the 4, and Naruto stares at Kiba. "I can do things a team can by myself," Naruto says, and creates a dozen of clones. "I can be my team by myself," he adds, before a window shatters and as a tan blur enters. "How's it going, wannabes? I am the ultra-sexy MILF in training, Anko Hadake, and I am here for my Vic, Genin," Anko says as Sarada, Kaguya and Tsunade rise from their seats. Also Chibai, Kashi is waiting with the Hokage, so head on up, Anko adds. Naruto sighs as the trio wave and follow Anko out the window before leaving as Kiba glares, heading towards the Hokage Tower, which is adjacent to the academy. Rank Genin achieved. D rank missions 5000 XP, 5000 Ryo minimum. C rank mission 10000 XP, 10,000 Ryo minimum. D rank mission 15000 XP, 15,000 Ryo minimum. A rank mission 20000 XP, 20,000 Ryo minimum. S rank mission 50000 XP, 50,000 Ryo minimum. While missions will give me XP and money, meaning I can cut back on dungeons. Though I need to figure out what the special area is, Naruto thought, heading up the tower. He reaches the Hokage's office and sees Kakashi waiting with his orange book in his hand. "On time," Kakashi says. "Unlike you," Naruto muses, and Kakashi eye smiles. He knocks and enters the office where Itachi is sitting at his desk with the Jonin Commander Shikaku Nara standing to his right. "Thank you for coming, Naruto," Itachi says and adopts a serious look, now as the heir of the Uzumaki clan. "Certain things will be expected of you. The first is the cry to begin the rebuilding of your clan with 6 women of your choice," he explains. "Already chosen," Musashi says, and Naruto internally snorts. "As a solo team, and your use of the Kage Bunshin allows you to be your team. You will also be able to float between other teams and accompany them on higher ranked missions," Itachi says, and Naruto slowly nods. "Last concerns the Chunin exams," he adds, and Shikaku clears his throat. "This year the Chunin exams will take place in the land of Mizu, a country amidst a civil war between Kirigakure's loyalists and bloodline revolutionaries," Shikaku says. "Bloodline revolutionaries," Naruto says. "Several years ago the Kaguya clan attacked Kirigakure. This ignited fears in Kiri's hierarchy, which believed Kekkei Genkai users were demonic and needed to be purged," Shikaku explains. "The leader of the revolutionaries, Mei Teromi, reached out to me for aid, and we have maintained correspondences for the past year and a half. She has managed to convince the Mizu daimyo that Kiri's actions were deplorable and are systematically destroying the country," Itachi says. Why are you telling me this, Lord Godame?" Naruto says. "You are the village Jinchuriki and that has certain obligations. The Mizukage will likely enter his nephew Kagura Karatachi and Sanbai Jinchuriki into the exams. You will have to deal with him. Also, from what we know, Iwa and Kumo will not be involved in the exams, but they will be keeping their eyes on it," Shikaku explains. "So I'll need to deal with a fellow Jinchuriki," Naruto says. "Yes, our ally Suna will enter their Jinchuriki, but be prepared to face him in the exams as well. Kakashi will be training you in various skills until the exams. Even the use of the Kyubi's chakra," Itachi says, and Naruto nods. The Hokage dismisses the pair and they head down the tower. "So what are we doing first, Sensei?" Naruto asks. "Teams will have Genin tests today, so we have a day before things truly begin. Though we can do D ranks if you want," Kakashi says. "I can wait," Naruto says, and Kakashi nods. "Well, I'll see you at training ground 7 at 7 am," Kakashi says, about to shunshin away. "Hey Sensei, Lady Tobium has said I have reached Journeyman and Fuinjutsu and I may be able to break Anu's curse mark," Naruto says, and Kakashi freezes. Naruto, Kakashi says, and the redhead looks his sensei in the eye. I believe I can. I've been working on a few seals and I think I can break her curse mark, Naruto says. Think or no, Kakashi says, as they leave the tower. Think at this point, but I know I can help with your eye, Naruto says. Kakashi touches his Hirai-8 with a sigh. We'll speak to Lord Jiraiya about it, but I'll be your guinea pig, he says. Cool. We can head to Lady Tobium, Naruto says, and his sensei nods as they head for the Senju compound. Shinbiraku. You sure about this, Kakashi? Naruto has come very long way in Fuinjutsu, Tobium says. The three were sitting outside amongst nature as the blonde looks the silver-haired shinobi in the eye. I can trust him. He brought up Anko too, but I'd prefer your husband be present, Kakashi says, and she sighs. Jiraiya is off doing research for his book and his network, so it's no telling when he'll be back, Tobium says, and looks to Naruto. Break out your kit and we'll work on Kakashi, she adds. Naruto raises his right sleeve and retrieves a wooden box from a seal on his forearm. This seal is fairly simple. Your sharing in places a constant strain on your chakra reserves. This seal will create a stopgap between your eye and chakra network, allowing you essentially turn it off and on. Though your eye won't return to normal, he explains. Something that sensei of yours should have done, or his buffin of a sensei, Tobium adds. Naruto removes his right glove and dips his pen into the ink to inscribe a kanji on his hand. Show me your sharing in, sensei, he says, and Kakashi raises his Hirai-8 to show his haunting red eye. Blue chakra starts to coat Naruto's fingers as he places his hand over Kakashi's eye, before the copy ninja feels that his chakra strain is diminishing. How do you feel, Naruto asks. I'm feeling better. How will I be able to use it properly, Kakashi says. Form a half-ram sign and channels chakra to it, Tobium says. Well, we'll test it tomorrow, Kakashi says, and rises to his feet. See you, he says, vanishing with Leaf Shunshin. So who won, Tobium says. Tsunade, Naruto says, and Tobium smirks. The Hokage even told me about the cry. Though won't that cause issues for the clans, he says. It won't. You may eventually marry Tsunade, Kaguya and Sarada. They will have children. My future grandchild will be heir of heiress of either clan. Same with the Uchiha and Hyuga, but the Uchiha have the Hokage who can have children, and Kaguya's little sisters can become heiress, Tobium explains, while Naruto picks up his Fuinjutsu kit. I'll contact Jiraiya through my summons to expedite things, Tobium says. Thank you, sensei, Naruto says, and excuses himself. The next day, Naruto makes some clones for his dailies but decides to do the sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, and crunches himself, waiting for Kakashi to arrive. About 20 after 7 his sensei arrives. A little late, sensei, Naruto says, holding a handstand push-up. I'll move things to 8 for tomorrow now, seeing you warmed up. Let's have a spar, Kakashi says. Naruto pushes himself back to a vertical base with a smirk and slips into a loose stance as Kakashi raises his Hirai-8, before using a half-ram sign and beckons for his pupil. Naruto stares his sensei down and slowly edges forward into 6-piece combo that Kakashi blocks, pushing a right through, but Naruto bends back to avoid it. Naruto edges back about 2 feet and starts to bounce on his tips of his toes as Kakashi's sharing and Tomo spin to predict his next move. The redhead shoots forward with 3 lightning-fast strikes, moving downward as Kakashi moves back but notices gashes in his shirt and pants. He's fast, Kakashi thought. Naruto presses him, but the senior ninja keeps up and catches his fist, before blocking kick with left forearm and snake set arm around Naruto's leg. Kakashi twists to send Naruto around while keeping his arm around his leg, but the redhead manages a sloppy kick with his free leg and free himself. Sensei and student reset, but this time Kakashi goes on the offensive with 10-piece combo that Naruto keeps up with. However, one gets through and staggers the redhead. Naruto quickly recovers and sends a left straight for Kakashi but shatters a log. Lesson 1 Jinjutsu, Kakashi says, as the world warps him, but Naruto dispels the Jinjutsu. Once he has to avoid a fireball from Kakashi by dodging right, but a pair of hands burst from the ground, grabbing his ankles and dragging the redhead underground to his neck. This won't hold me, sensei, Naruto says, seeing Kakashi appear before blowing himself free with an energy blast. He leaps out of the newly made hole and dusts the dirt from his body. Figured it wouldn't, but I've seen what I needed, Kakashi says. So a D-rank mission now, Naruto asks. We can. They'll be prepared, Kakashi says, and the pair head for the mission hall inside the lower part of the Hokage Tower. The room is open with a long table having a few seated, namely the Sandaime, and a board having some mission slips on it, none of the other teams having yet to arrive. So what mission should we get, Naruto asks. Your choice, since you'll be doing it, Kakashi says, and Naruto gives him a look. The redhead looks over the board and various missions as Kakashi reads his little book. I'll do this one, Naruto says, showing a mission to carry several heavy bags for our owner. Okay, Naruto, Kakashi says, grabbing the slip and takes it to the table. Team 7 will take this mission, Kakashi says. Alright, but don't work Naruto too hard, Hiruzen says. I won't, old man, Naruto says. The pair head out the mission and take to the roofs heading to the southeastern side of the village. Soon they arrive at a warehouse with a large wagon having about 100 sacks of cement. Hello, sir. We're to help with transport, Kakashi says, and the man only sees Naruto. There is only the two of you, the man says. That won't be an issue. Right, Naruto, Kakashi says. Naruto smirks and removes his coat but also his long-sleeve shirt as 2 clones pop to life next to him. No problem, all 3 say. One of the clones hops in the wagon and hands each one a sack as the man guides them inside to show where to drop them off. Kakashi watches Naruto and his clone haul the cement bags as the man comes to stand next to him. He is strong, the man says. He is, Kakashi says, not looking up from his book but would occasionally. The clone will carry one bag but Naruto himself would two on each shoulder, and carrying the sacks takes less time than with one person or even a team. Thanks for your aid. I'll hire you again in about 2 weeks for another shipment, the man says, signing a slip for completion. Sure thing, old man. Hire me anytime, Naruto says. Call me Goto Kid, the man says. Alright, Naruto. We'll head back and take few more, Kakashi says, and Naruto nods, following him to the Hokage Tower. However, they encounter Team 8 about to take their first D-rank mission. Hello, Kakashi, Kurenai says, glancing to Naruto. Getting your first mission, Kakashi says, and sees Kiba mean-mugging Naruto, who is ignoring the dog boy. Yes, back from your own, Kurenai says. Yes, Naruto carried 100 sacks cement with ease, Kakashi says. What? Kiba says, his eyes wide in disbelief in his voice. Think I can get another mission like that? It's good for strength and stamina, Naruto says. We'll have to see, Kakashi says, as they leave Team 8 with Kiba glaring. I'll show you beta male, Kiba says, and Naruto freezes, remembering his SSJ mission. Yeah, beta male orbiter, Sakura adds. Naruto grits his teeth as several veins bulge on his arms and neck, but Kakashi pops him with his book. Show him in a spark, Kakashi whispers. Hey, Kurenai. How about a little inter-team sparring instead, Kakashi says. Are you sure? It would not be fair to Naruto, Kurenai says, and Kakashi pats Naruto's shoulder. He'll be fine. How about Kiba and Naruto try first? Then we'll see if Shino and Sakura will want it after, Kakashi says. Okay, but don't blame my team for Naruto getting hurt, Kurenai says. The two teams head to Team 8's training ground as Kiba side-eyes Naruto the entire way. Ground rules. Only taijutsu and you can go full contact, Kakashi says once they arrive. Naruto limbers up a little with his eyes on Kiba. Don't break him too bad, Musashi says. I won't. Won't even take me long either, Naruto thought, pulling on his gloves. Akamaru barks a few times but Kiba scoffs. Don't worry. It won't go like before, Kiba says, and look to Kakashi. Can I use my beast mimicry, he asks as Kakashi looked to Naruto. And the redhead nods. Alright, you fight until we call it, Kakashi says, and raises his right arm before bringing it down. Kiba immediately uses his beast mimicry to sharpen his nails, but also giving him a more feral look, and lunges at Naruto with low stance. However, danger senses go off as Kiba narrowly dodges a lightning-fast left jab from Naruto, throwing him off and sending him rolling a few times. Kiba quickly recovers with a 9-piece combo of claw-like strikes, but Naruto dodges with either a sway back or sidestep. This immediately frustrates Kiba and opens him up for a toss as Naruto catches his wrist. Why do you believe this will be any different from our matches at the academy, Naruto says, bouncing on his toes. That was the academy. Now things are real, beta male, Kiba says. You're right. Things are more real, Naruto says, before blitzing forward and connecting with an uppercut to Kiba's chin. He chains it into a left hook to Kiba's cheek as the Inuzuka's hands have gone down and limp, before Kiba crashes to the ground with his ass in the air. I win, Naruto says. Kiba, Sakura screeches, rushing to his side. Still believe things were unfair to Naruto, Kakashi says. Kurenai rushes to her Genin and see he's knocked out as Akamaru licks his face, her mind immediately going to Kiba being concussed, and begins using the mystic palm to see if he is. How could you do that to Kiba? Sakura screeches, marching up to Naruto, but Kakashi gets in her path. Careful, Genin. He fought Kiba in a full-contact spar. There was a risk of one of them getting hurt and if things got too serious. Kurenai, or I would have stepped in, Kakashi says. Would you be yelling if I was hurt by Kiba? No, you would be cheering, Naruto says. Kiba slowly starts to stir as he is greeted by the sky. What happened? He says, and Akamaru barks a few times to explain, causing him to grit his teeth in rage. I need power. I have a loyal bitch at my side as is my right. But that bastard beta male keeps disrespecting his alpha. Someday I will have real power and crush your neck, beta male, Kiba thought. 1 month later. Naruto, this is Yamato and he will helping me, both with your control of the Kyuubi's chakra but your elemental training as well, Kakashi says. It has been a month since graduating, but also the spar with Kiba as Team 8 avoided interactions with Team 7. Kurenai was angry with him, but she could clearly see the animosity brewing in Kiba and Sakura. Hello, Naruto, Yamato says, and Naruto gives him a friendly nod. He has short brown hair and black, almond-shaped eyes with a Happyuri-style Hidaye, wearing a standard Konoha attire. So how are we doing this, Naruto asks. Well, I'm going to have you meditate and try to commune with the Kyuubi. Yamato here will make sure you don't look control, Kakashi says, and Naruto arches one of his eyebrows. You'll see, Kakashi says. Naruto sighs and takes a seat on the grass to make a show of him meditating with his hands in his lap. Make a show, boya. You can even reveal my name, Musashi says. Naruto keeps his eyes closed and focuses on his chakra energy to turn SSJ. Slowly the grass under him ripples outward at faster and faster intervals as Yamato kneels to one knee with his left hand out. Mokuden, Fu Dog heads, Yamato says, and creates a series of wooden pillars, which are engraved with what resembles Fu Dog faces and have lit wicks on top of them. He has the Mokuden. Now I see why he is here, Naruto thought. Kakashi watches as Naruto's muscles become a little more defined and his hair slowly lifts like a flame as well, before a golden red aura explodes from him and turning his hair golden blonde. Senpai, this doesn't feel like the Kyubai's chakra. It's like it, but at the same time isn't, Yamato says, ready to bind Naruto if needed. Naruto slowly opens his eyes to reveal blue-green but pupil-less orbs as Kakashi and Yamato stare. Naruto, Kakashi says. Yeah, Kakashi, Naruto says. How do you feel, Kakashi says, as Naruto gets to his feet. Pretty good. I talked to Musashi. Let the Kyubai's name and she's fine with me using her chakra, Naruto says, moving his body as if to test his newfound state. I see. Well, this is an odd use of a Biju cloak. Perhaps because Sensei used the Death Reaper seal it manifests like this, Kakashi says. Maybe, Senpai, Yamato says. Okay, Naruto. That enough, Kakashi says, and Naruto relaxes, returning to normal. So what's next, Naruto says. So now we'll try working on high-rank jutsu in each of your elemental affinities. Also one of the jutsu made famous by my sensei. The Rasengan, Kakashi says. How do I do it, Naruto asks. First create 300 clones, 100 to work on each element. Yamato, can you get us some water balloons, Kakashi says, and Naruto furrows his brow, creating said clone. Why water balloons, Naruto asks, as Kakashi makes his own clones to watch each set. The Rasengan has 3 steps. First is rotation, second power, and third combine both. The water balloons are for the first step, which I will show you when Yamato returns, Kakashi explains. About a half hour later, Yamato comes back with a pack of balloons and they start filling a few in the small lake near them. Now you have to rotate the water inside until, Kakashi says, rotating the water inside said balloon and popping it. Naruto grabs one and sits on the grass as he moves the water inside, thanks to your perk. Learning this jutsu is easier, Musashi says. Yeah, so I'll take things slow for now, Naruto thought, but would do it the next day. He would move next to a rubber ball and clears that in 3 days. Before another 3 days did he create a Rasengan. So this is famed jutsu of Lord Yondaime, Sarada says. Naruto holds the swirling orb of chakra in his left hand. Yeah, and Kakashi says it's unfinished. He says I can add one of my affinities to it, he says, and lets it dispels, then shows them his SSJ transformation. All 3 girls were shocked by the transformation as Kaguya activates her Byakugan. He's radiating so much chakra, Kaguya says, awe in her voice. I'll say, Tsunade says, as Naruto relaxes. Which affinity will you use, Sarada asks. I may do wind and fire. Combined I can make a pseudo inferno, Naruto says. Has Kakashi-sensei taken you on a C-rank mission yet, Tsunade says, but Naruto shakes his head and all 3 get a cheeky smile on their faces as Anko appears. Hey princesses, ready for your first C-rank mission? Oh hey Chibai. Sorry I have to steal your harem, Anko says, a smirk on her face. Bye, Naruto each say, after a small kiss on his cheek. See you, Chibai, Anko says, as they bid him goodbye. Music, Pickin's theme, DBZ. Naruto sighs and creates 4 clones with reinforced 5th clone as well. You know what to do, he says, as the 4 spread out. Ninpo, Shishianjin the 4 shout, after weaving signs to surround Naruto and his clone with a barrier. Naruto and his clone go SSJ as both lock eyes before Naruto rockets forward, but Naruto clone sidesteps him into a heavy punch as Naruto uses the momentum of it to connect with a spinning kick. Naruto and Naruto clone engage in a flurry of punches that neither block as they blitz around the barrier and even taking to the sky. They connect with heavy punches to the face and float back, but both land, rushing each other again with dual 100 crack fist. Naruto clone swings a right but only connects with an afterimage of Naruto as he swings a roundhouse as the clone does the same. Naruto lands with a skid and Naruto clone slams into him to push him back, but Naruto falls back, kicking his clone up and flies skyward. Final shine, Naruto shouts, firing the green blast. Naruto clone dodges the blast and it explodes into the barrier as Naruto appears behind him with a punch to his back, but the clone counters with a right to Naruto's face and follow-up downward hammer blow, sending the redhead plummeting to the ground as Naruto corrects to land with a crouch. Naruto clone lands as Naruto walks towards him until they were face to face, but Naruto goes for a gut shot into a downward elbow and kick upwards. Naruto clone halts himself upside down and wipes his mouth as he rights himself before shooting forward as Naruto does same. The redhead swings a left, but Naruto clone block with his fist and forces Naruto to block his left elbow, into another flurry of punches neither block once again. Azure Dragon Sword, Naruto clone says. Naruto narrowly ducks under the energy blade and clenches his right. Rising Dragon, he shouts, connecting with a rising uppercut to Naruto clone's chin. It lifts him off the ground as Naruto clenches his left his time as black veins spread along his arm. Iron Annihilation, he shouts, connecting with a punch sounding like the ringing of a hammer on iron and dispels Naruto clone. Naruto powers down and falls on his back to dispel his other clones. Iron Annihilation hardens one limbs to make them like iron hammers, Musashi says. Pretty much, but have a side effect that hurts. If I didn't have you, I would shatter my arms, Naruto says, looking at the sky, and Musashi says you are very lucky. Song end. 2 months later. The sound of swords clashing echoes across the training ground as Naruto and Hakuryu spar with Kakashi watching under a tree. It has been another 2 months since Naruto has graduated from the academy and he has leveled up to 102 and puts his points into SDR. Team 5 lorded over him about taking a C-rank mission before him, but the redhead didn't worry as he was working on his Rasengan and learning several more higher-ranked jutsu. He learned Futon, Shinkajioku and Futon, Shinku Taijioku both B rank, Katen, Gakakyu no Jutsu and Katen, Ruka no Jutsu both C rank, Suten, Suadana and Suten, Suajineki both B rank as well, honing his other jutsu. That's enough for today. You are coming along very well, Hakiru says, after parrying his student's fluid strikes with a sheathed sword. Naruto sheaths his sword and bows to the older Oni. Thank you and tell Princess Shuna I will ask Sarada and Kaguya, he says, and Hakiru dismisses himself. You think they will sign the summon contract, Kakashi says, closing his book. Maybe. Tsunade has her own summon and they like to compete, Naruto says, and Kakashi snorts as Nico appears. Lord Godam has a mission for Team 7, Nico says, and vanishes. Kakashi shunshins them to Itachi's office as the cage sits at his desk. Thank you for coming promptly, Itachi says, and clears his throat. I have a special C rank mission, but it could move up to B rank or even a rank. This depends on those involved, he adds. Who's involved, Kakashi says, and a poignant pause fills the room. Orochimaru, Itachi says, and sighs before holding up a picture of a girl of about 13 with blood-red hair and matching eyes behind glasses. Her name is Karin Uzumaki, he adds, and Naruto's eyes widen. A survivor of Uzashio's fall, Kakashi says, and Itachi nods. According to Lord Jiraiya's spies, her parents fled to Kusagakure and hid themselves there. However, after a change in leadership, her parents were used for their abilities. Karin's father possessed the mind's eye of Kagura and was used as constant surveillance for the village. He died after a month. Her mother possessed a healing bite and was used to death by decadent doctors. Karin has both, and you can guess what will happen if she becomes a ninja, Itachi explains. So we'll infiltrate and snatch her up, then escape, Kakashi says. It won't be that simple. We got someone close to Karin and they plan to sneak her out, but Orochimaru happened. He hasn't come himself, but our spy heard his name thrown around, Itachi says, and Naruto sees a familiar translucent blue box. Quest received. Save your Uzumaki kinsman. Rewards, 110000 XP. 2-1000 rep Kusa and Orochimaru. 3 new home. So we sneak in and save Karin before Orochimaru's people take her, Kakashi says. Yes, Itachi says, and looks to Naruto. How long can someone last in your stasis scrolls, he asks. With Sensei's help. She lasted about 18 hours. Any longer and her health deteriorated, Naruto says. That will be enough. Seal Karin inside the stasis scroll and both of you escape without alerting Kusa's leadership, but if that can't happen, you'll have to fight your way out. Kusa's new leadership is working to annul our alliance, Itachi says. We'll get it done, Lord Godam, Kakashi says, and looks to Naruto. Pack for a week and meet me at the main in 30, he adds, and Naruto nods, excusing himself and making 3 clones to inform the trio. Quite the mission. A kinsman and a new home, Musashi says, as Naruto reaches home and moves to gather what he needs. I can use a bigger place and I'm not the only Uzumaki left, Naruto says, both ignoring the negative rep. He gets memories from his clones as each girl wishes him luck and to be safe, with hugs and kisses added as well. He also gets a quick snack from the store of a beef burrito and Coke. Naruto reaches the main gates as Kakashi arrives with a leaf shunshin. Ready, Kakashi says, and Naruto nods, before they take off for Kusa. Shinbiraku, are you ready to see a real ninja village? Reni, Kakashi says, under his Sukiya persona. He has a shaggy grayish-brown hair, gray contact lenses along with purple makeup over his eyes and purple patches under them. He wears a long green trench coat and purple scarf with gray pants. Naruto is under a henge of a little girl of 10 with blonde hair and pigtails wearing a dress and green eyes. Yeah, he or she says, so my henges are real, Naruto thought. You never noticed, Boya, Musashi says. Naruto and Kakashi were a part of a caravan bound for Kusa under the persona of a traveling photographer and his niece. The village of Kusagakure is not to the scale of the other major hidden villages but is half the size of Konoha. The country itself is rich with forests, some even consisting of giant mushrooms or bamboo, and many rivers or deep ravines. Rinny, let's go see Rin right away, okay, Kakashi says, taking some pictures. The caravan is checked and IDs were as well, with the heir managing to fool the guards, allowing them inside the village to head towards Karin's home. Kakashi takes photos as Naruto looks around like a curious kid as they draw closer to Karin's home on the west side, which is sparse. However, they would find the home is the site of a murder as Naruto places a barrier to keep eyes off them. Was there a leak? Naruto says, seeing the deceased young woman. I don't know, but there was a serious struggle, Kakashi says, seeing broken glasses and mirrors. Orochimaru, Naruto says, as Kakashi bites his thumb to summon one of ninja hounds. Hakon, we need to find a high-value target. Can you track her scent? Kakashi says. Hakon is a small pug with brown fur, a dark brown snout and ears, pink paws, and wears the standard of blue vest with a Hino Moheji seal and a bandage on his right front leg. Give me a moment, Hakon says, sniffing the area. Should we bring her with us? Naruto says, but Kakashi shakes his head. I've got it, but it feels like 5 bodies and one at the same time, but has a scent like Yamato, Hakon says, and this shocks Kakashi. How far away? Kakashi says. They've been gone about 3 hours ago, Hakon says. All right, Naruto. I'll shunshin us out of here and we'll catch up, Kakashi says, picking up Hakon and grasps the redhead's arm as they vanish. What did you mean? One has a scent like Yamato, Naruto asks, as they race north of Kusa. Yamato was the sole survivor of an experiment by Orochimaru to revive the Mokuden. However, that might not be the case, so be prepared, Kakashi says. Music, Bruce Faulconer, Panic into Cell transforms into Heroic Trunks theme. Karin Uzumaki softly cries as she is being by 5 strange individuals who killed her friend. How can this happen, she thought. She believed she would be spurted away from Kyusa, but then they came, proclaiming their master would have a use for her. Karin learned their names were Seki carrying a Kakara and filled with rage, Kara carrying a maple leaf shaped Uchiwa and radiating lust. Aiz carries a Jumanji spear and seems sorrowful. Yuro carries no weapon and radiates this jovial and sadistic nature, but their leader Zahaku radiates hatred and frightens her the most. Someone is coming, Zahaku says, halting the group. He is short but muscular with short hair that spikes up at various angles around his head and narrow orange eyes. He wears black hakama pants tied together with a long strap of white cloth, long sleeves, and dons a plate of armor that is gold but only covers his chest. We were moving too slow, Seki says. He is a tall and muscular young man with long wavy hair that goes past his shoulders and narrow, deep red eyes. He wears a kimono with the right half being covered in a pattern of flowers and lines, the left half being dark and lacking any detailed features, with dark hakama pants and a pair of Zori sandals. Ahaha, people to play with, Kara says. He is tall and muscular with shoulder-length hair and narrow, deep green eyes, wearing nothing but hakama pants, a pair of Zori, and a Uichsa harness. Who are they? Aiz says. He is a tall and muscular as well with shoulder-length hair and narrow, deep blue eyes. He wears a black kimono with white lines running through various areas of the clothing and rope-like accessories tied around his shoulders, also a pair of hakama pants and a pair of Zori sandals. We can play a game with them, Yuro says. He is a tall and muscular with long wavy hair that goes past his shoulders and narrow gold eyes, wearing only hakama pants tied together by a chain of large round pearls. Enough. They are here, Zahaku says as Naruto and Kakashi appear front him amid a forest of bamboo. Kakashi Haddock, the copy ninja, he adds. This will be fun then, Kara says. Kakashi raises his Hidaite as Naruto uses observe on them. Each of them Jonin easily, but Zahaku is dangerous, Naruto thought, seeing a look from Kakashi. Both rush forward towards the group as Naruto prepares clones, but Kara swings his fan, Boya Musashi shouts, before being sent flying by a tremendous gust of wind. Hahaha, he went flying, Kara crows. After him, Zahaku says, as Kakashi shouts Naruto and the 4 vanish as bamboo ensnares Karin. Naruto lands with a crash and bounds to his feet. He didn't weave signs at all, he says. Seki appears on Naruto's left side and slams his staff down, creating a burst of red-blue lightning, but the redhead dodges, tossing several kunai towards him. Aiz shunshins above and thrusts his spear, but Naruto uses Kawarami with a bamboo stalk as he lands with a skid. An echoing screech tears through the area and blows out Naruto's eardrums before he covers them. What the hell? He thought, and sees Yuro laughing with his mouth moving, but all the redhead could hear is ringing. I'll heal them shortly, Musashi says. No, don't. He'll simply do it again, Naruto thought, bringing out his sword. Kara swings his fan once for another blast of wind, but Naruto uses his chains to root himself in place, before Kara appears above and swings down to create a heavy wind pressure. Naruto's knees buckle as the ground cracks underneath him, but he endures, dodging a thrust from Aiz but manages to cut his shoulder. Amiradama, Naruto thought, setting his sword ablaze and slashing Aiz back. Seki slams his staff into Naruto's back with a surge of lightning, and the redhead screams in pain while Yuro sends another sonic screech, causing his eyes white out and his sword falling from his hand as blood vessels break in Naruto's nose as well. Kara and Yuro cackle as Seki looks on in anger with Aiz crying softly, having to see Naruto suffer so much and not die. Let's put him out of his misery, Aiz says. The 4 rush towards Naruto, but the redhead throws his head back with a voiceless roar as he transforms into a SSJ, blowing the 4 back several feet with shocked looks on their faces. How infuriating. How infuriating. How infuriating. We didn't kill him sooner, Seki says. Now then, one uses sound, one lightning, one uses wind, and the last can use his spear to attack even from a distance. So I need something as well, Naruto thought, and creates his Azure Dragon sword, before gripping it as Aiz goes for a spear thrust. It slashes the ground in 4 rows, but Naruto dodges as he creates a whitish-blue energy scythe. Yuro takes a deep breath for another screech but gets bifurcated at the waist from a swing of Naruto's scythe. Seki slams his staff to send a lightning blast, but Naruto avoids it with clones before his scythe pierces Seki's head. Yuro, Seki, Kara shouts, but his breath hitches as Naruto has his sword in hand. Uzumaki Ryu, severing void, Naruto says, to sever Kara's arms and head in one strike. Aiz goes for a strike from behind as the redhead sidesteps him but opens up his side as Naruto swings. Gurenkaina, Naruto says, cutting and exploding Aiz's head. The redhead sighs and looks over the bodies, but his eyes widen as Aiz's body has turned into a wooden corpse. They were wood clones, but not at the same time as part is human as well. What experiments has Orochimaru done, Naruto says, as his wounds and hearing heal. No time to contemplate, Boya. Your sensei could be in danger, Musashi says, as Naruto rushes off. Music change. Ex-ambassadors FT Jamie N. Commons, jungle. Reikiri, Kakashi shouts, tearing through one of Zahaku's wooden dragons. Zahaku has managed to keep distance between him and Kakashi via his wood dragons, but the copy ninja is drawing closer. However, after the death of those 4 did his power increase. I can now use Kara's wind and Seki's lightning and Yuro's howl, Zahaku thought, firing a blast of lightning that Kakashi cuts in half. I may need to use my Mangekyo, but I don't have the chakra for it, Kakashi says, and sees Karin pleading with her eyes for someone to save her. I have no choice, he says. Barak Seika, a familiar voice, shouts, and Blue Blast destroys 3 of the wooden head in an instant. Zahaku shields his eyes for a moment but jerks as Karin is now gone. What? He says. Kakashi sees Naruto landing with Karin in his arms. Naruto, Kakashi says. I had to make sure Karin didn't get caught in things, Naruto says, letting her down. You killed those 4, Kakashi says. I did. You seem to still be fighting, Naruto says. He isn't like Yamato from what I can tell. He using existing wood to make those dragons. Though only a few moments ago. Those dragons can now fire lightning. Wind, Kakashi says, and Naruto interrupts. Sound waves, Naruto says, and Kakashi nods. It's the same powers of those 4. After I killed them, they turned into half-human corpses with wood mixed in, he adds. So they were some sort of clones, Kakashi says. Zahaku sends his wood dragons as they dodge them and they crash into the ground. Kakashi. Can I handle him, Naruto says. Don't be reckless, Kakashi says, catching Karin from Naruto and vanishing with her. Are you done strategizing, Zahaku says. Naruto lowers his stance and shoots forward as Zahaku fires a combined sound wave lightning blast, but the redhead dodges, destroying a large area of land in its wake. The dragon heads shoot forward in dizzying patterns and even create new heads as Naruto dodges using his bursting machine gun blows to take out the smaller heads. One head fires heavy air pressure attacks and another several attacks similar to Ai's spear thrust. He is keeping up even at that speed, Zahaku thought, but his eyes narrow seeing Naruto's whiskers. I see now. He's the Kubai Jinchuriki, he says. Naruto brings out his Azure Dragon Sword and fires numerous javelins to pierce the wood dragons as they explode, allowing Naruto to close the distance. Zahaku opens his mouth as Naruto's fist comes closer and a compressed sound wave explodes out, ripping away Naruto's top and blowing him back, but Zahaku's eyes widen as the redhead is still on his feet. He managed to survive my compressed war cry, Zahaku thought, and shoots forward with a spear-like strike aimed for Naruto's heart. However, Naruto brushes the blow aside and connects with a iron annihilation to Zahaku's stomach as his body seizes, before staggering back with blood coming from his mouth and falls to his knees but stands quickly, however falls right back down to one knee. How can I be so damaged from one blow, Zahaku thought, struggling to his feet. Naruto tears away the remains of his top with a spit of a little blood as Zahaku glares at him, but the redhead's eyes narrow as 4 fleshwood arms burst from his foe's back. I will bring your corpse to my master Jinchuriki, Zahaku says, slamming his 6 arms down, creating a large explosion of red-blue lightning and engulfing the area. Naruto appears behind Zahaku's and slams a roundhouse to his side, sending him crashing several feet but bounds to his feet as Naruto closes the gap into an inordinate amount of punches, neither one taking one step back, but one of Zahaku's fleshwood arms explodes. Naruto uses Iron Annihilation on both his arms, drawing on more of Musashi Chakra as another of Zahaku's arms is destroyed and another until only his normal arms remains. I will kill you, Zahaku roars, charging another compressed war cry, but his body buckles. Naruto manages to send his chains around Zahaku's neck and yanks him into a close-range Iron Annihilation as his hand goes numb from the force. He swings Zahaku around and sends him skyward, into a hard yank to snap his neck, and charges a final shine to erase the pseudo-wood user from this world. Quest complete. Rewards: 110000 XP, 2-1000 Rep Kusa and Orochimaru. 3 new home. Naruto powers down to fall on his butt amid the destroyed area and looks to his left hand with busted knuckles, but Musashi slowly heals him. He looks back to see Kakashi but no Karin. Is Karin safe? Naruto says. I'm a clone. He's looking over those 4 you fought. Where's Zahaku? Kakashi says. Around, Naruto says, and the clone slowly nods, getting the implication. Naruto heads to meet up with Kakashi and Karin before making their journey to a small town to rest for the trek back to Konoha. Karin is a little apprehensive of Naruto due to Musashi's chakra, but Kakashi properly explains what Jinchuriki were and Naruto is no threat. The 3 would travel at a civilian pace for Karin's sake, but 2 days later at the Fire Country border, a summon in the form of a crow informs them of an emergency mission to aid Team 10 in Wave Country. What do we do, Kakashi? We have Karin, Naruto says, as Kakashi cups his chin in thought. Can your clone make it back to Konoha? Kakashi says. Possible. I can reinforce one with Musashi's chakra. Plus, thanks to the Oni, I can fly, Naruto says, shocking Karin. That can work. Your clone takes Karin to Konoha and will head to Wave by the same means of your stasis scroll, Kakashi says. You sure, Kakashi? Naruto says, and the copy ninja nods, before the redhead pulls out 2 scrolls from a seal on his right arm. He slowly unfurls one and it has a circle surrounded by numerous kanji. Okay, place your hand on the circle and I'll seal you in, Naruto says. It won't hurt me, Karin says. Not at all. It'll feel like you're taking a nap, Naruto says, and Karin slowly places her hand. He places his hands outside the circle and channels some chakra as Karin vanishes in a puff of smoke and a symbol forms inside the circle. We may be walking into a battle, Kakashi says, as Naruto closes the scroll and opens the second scroll. I'll be ready. Just don't be groggy when I unseal you, Naruto says, as Kakashi places his hands and gives his genin one of his eye smiles. Kakashi vanishes like Karin as Naruto folds up the scroll and transforms to create a clone of himself. You know the drill, Naruto says, as he powers down. Got it, the clone says and bumps fists with Naruto before flying off with a small dust-up. Naruto brings up a new feature of the map that can calculate and pinpoint locations, but he notices a large continent way to the north. I wonder if that is the special area, he says, and looks for Wave. I'll worry about it later. Got to book it to Wave. Help Team 10 and meet he adds, plotting the course. A purple aura surrounds Naruto as he rockets off in a larger dust-up heading for Wave Country, and the next member of his harem. Land of Fire Hash. Naruto soars above the clouds towards Wave Country, but his mind is on Team 10, and among their class they were the only true team, compared to the other teams, as for example Team 5 were made of girls with individual goals and worked together. Team 8 were individuals as well, but follow Kiba in Sakura's case, or Shino simply following because of hive mentality. Team 10 were trained at a young age to be a team and hone those skills to point they could work without saying a word. And your team is you, yourself and oneself, Musashi says. Naruto comes down through the clouds as he passes the coast and sails along the water to create some waves. Yeah, me, myself and I, he says, seeing a few dolphins, and speeds up. He would receive memories from his clone that Karin arrived safely in Konoha. Also, Itachi received his oral report on the mission, and Itachi will let Karin stay with Tsunade's family until he returns, where they would discuss matters. Meanwhile, Team 10 were dealing with serious situation on their first C-rank mission of a simple escort mission of a man named Tazuna back to his home in Wave Country. However, along the journey they were ambushed by Chunin-level missing nin known as the Demon Brothers. Asuma allows his team to deal with them as Shikamaru uses his shadow manipulation while Choji distracts one and Ino halts another with her mind transfer, learning of Tazuna's deceit. The bridge builder revealed a man called Gato is after his life for building a bridge to the mainland, something that would cripple his stranglehold on the country. Tazuna also revealed his daughter and son-in-law lost their lives to Gato, and his bridge is the hope of a dying country. This pulls at the heartstrings of Ino and Choji as Asuma debates on what to do, while Shikamaru runs scenarios in his head. Asuma agrees to aid Tazuna but would call for backup through his monkey summons. However, once Wave is free, the country would sign a trade agreement with Konoha as compensation. Tazuna hesitantly agrees and Asuma sends for backup as they continue on towards the coast, meeting a boatman to ferry them towards the country, and were prepared for enemies. However, their enemy turned out to be Zabuza Mamachi, a former member of Kirigakure's 7 Swords of Mist and known as the Demon of Mist. The battle between Zabuza and Asuma is Dance of Death. His team were not ready for as Zabuza unleashes his Kai to keep the genin frozen in fear. However, Asuma defends his young charges and Tazuna, allowing them to shake back and aid their sensei. You think some wannabe shinobi can turn the tide, Zabuza says. Asuma stands in front of his team with his trench knives out and bleeding from several cuts. You would be surprised, Asuma says. Ino, Choji and Shikamaru were surrounding Tazuna with kunai out, but 2 more figures appear behind them. Asuma sensei, Ino says, a little terror in her tone and looking over the pair behind them. One has a Kiri hunter mask over their face, long black hair and a bun, and wears a teal kimono with olive hakama pants. The other is a fairly tall young woman with long, straight, black hair reaching her mid-back with short bangs framing her forehead and upturned red eyes. Her hair splits her into 2 parts and crosses it over her head, securing with a headband and forming 2 thick locks of hair that reach below her chest. She wears a form-fitting halter-style black dress with a rose choker and a red rose pattern on the inside of her skirt. The front of the skirt is mid-thigh length, while the back reaches below her knees, black thigh-high boots and black fingerless gloves. Do we have to harm them, Haku, the young woman says, reluctant in wanting to harm anyone and holding a pair of golden stiletto-type weapons. If it is Zabuza's will, we carry it out regardless of our feelings, Haku says, his voice devoid of emotion. What will you do now, Saruto? By Zabuza sneers, as the tension rises from Yor and Haku releasing their Kai along with their master. This is bad, Shikamaru thought, seeing his best friends on the verge of collapsing. Looks like we made it, a voice says, above all of them, and makes them look up. Why unseal me this far up, another voice says. Because it will be sort of cool, the first voice says. A dust-up erupts between Zabuza and Asuma to blow some of the ambient mist away to reveal Naruto and a squad as Kakashi lands on the redhead's right shoulder. Kakashi, Asuma says. Sharing a no, Kakashi, Zabuza says, as Kakashi hops down. Zabuza Mamachi, Kakashi says, raising his Hidayate and showing his Sharingan. Naruto has his blue eyes on Yor and Haku as he uses Observe to show both are Chunin but close to low-level Jonin. Yor's strength is comparable to him and Tsunade, while Haku has a high dex and SPD with a high Oten Kekkei Genkai. Yor, Haku, we're leaving another time, Kakashi. I look forward to killing you, Zabuza says and vanishes with the mist. Yor's red eyes linger on Naruto's blue ones, but she vanishes with rose petals as Haku breaks down into ice flurries. Thank Kami, Ino says, sighing in relief. Naruto, Choji says. You guys okay, Naruto says. Yeah, You and Kakashi-sensei arrived just in time, Shikamaru says. Naruto sends some clones to make a perimeter and will head to Tezuna's place, Kakashi says, and Naruto sees the older man gets a little nervous but makes said clones. Everyone remains cautious as they make their way towards Tezuna's home, but the older has this look of dread forming on his face. Weren't you on a mission? Asuma says. We were, but Naruto's summons got us here in a hurry, Kakashi says, leaving out Naruto could actually fly. Tezuna's home sits on the water with a dock and resembles a seaside inn as the older man is sweating bullets as he opens the door. Dad, you're home, Kazuya. Dad has made it home, a woman says, showing a baby bump and having long dark blue hair. Father, Kaiza says, is the group see a fisherman. Who are they? Ino says. I'm Tsunami and this is husband Kaiza, the woman says, and touches her baby bump, and this will be Inari, she adds. Ino whips around to Tezuna with anger in her eyes. I thought you said your daughter and son-in-law were killed by Gato, she says. Dad, Tsunami says, shocking in her eyes. I did it so you would help me. If you don't, Gato will surely kill them, Tezuna says, and Tsunami glares at him, before each team introduce themselves and allows Asuma to get some healing done from Ino. So what will we do, Asuma-sensei? Choji says. For now, we'll guard Tezuna and keep our eyes trained for attacks, Asuma says, as Ino holds her hands out and glowing a light green. How will you encounter your Musashi says. We'll have to see. It is question on how to get her from Zabuza, Naruto thought. The rest of the day is used for strategizing and Tsunami berating her father as Ino agrees with everything. The next day comes and Naruto sends his clones for dailies, but also switching out his perimeter clones, also slipping amongst the clones to explore the area. Naruto disguises himself as one of the many of thugs hired by Gato, wearing a surgical mask over his whiskers with his hair white and an inconspicuous outfit of a black red-lined shirt and black pants with black boots. Lastly, a white yukata with a blue swirl pattern on the bottom and wearing only one sleeve. He uses his silver tongue skill to learn some information and leads him towards a bar many frequent, but his stellar luck has him slam right into Yor. I'm so sorry, Naruto says, catching Yor before she falls. I'm sorry too. Let me buy you a drink and apology, Yor says quickly, and Naruto slowly nods, following her inside. Even early in the day the thugs were drinking and leering at the women as they take a seat at the bar. I'm Shin, Naruto says, seeing she is wearing an overcoat over her clothes. I'm Yor Briar, Yor says, and orders them a soda on the rocks, but the bartender mixes alcohol into hers. What brings you here, she adds. The almighty Ryo. Naruto says. Yor looks away with her eyes as their drinks arrive. And my sensei is here working, she says, drinking her drink. Not many would come to such a small country for work. From what I've seen, the town is pretty destitute, but who am to judge? I am here as well, Naruto says, and notices Yor's cheeks are a little red as she orders another. Sensei is all I have after losing Yuri, Yor says, a little speed to her tone. Who's Yuri? Naruto asks. He's my brother but died because we were heretics. All we did was help a family and Yuri died for it, Yor says, downing her next drink and ordering another. Naruto drinks his soda with a little Kakashi magic as he learns Yor is from Kiri and got caught in the civil war as she and Yuri harbored a family of bloodline users. I managed to escape, but why Yuri stayed behind and was killed. If not for Sensei I would have died too, Yor says, a slight slur forming, and downs another glass. Sensei even says I'm too soft and won't kill like Haku. I'm a failure. Why did he save me? Yor says, now fully slurring her words, and hiccups a few times as she reaches for her fifth drink. Naruto places his hand over her hand holding her drink and leans closer. She's drunk, Musashi says, as he pulls his mask down to show her his face. Yor, listen to me. Your sensei may saved your life, but that doesn't mean he owns your life, Naruto says. Yor's face slowly becomes redder and redder as her mind goes to Naruto confessing his immediate love for her. Kaya, she cries, kicking straight up into Naruto's chin and sending him flying backwards. Naruto corrects and lands perfectly as Yor has already run off, but his vision is slightly blurry. Now I see why it said. Never let her drink, he thought, rubbing his chin. You ruined our plan, buddy. We were gonna fuck that Kunoichi pussy, the bartender says. Naruto's eyes move from side to side as men were looking at him with drunken stares while the women run off. I see, Naruto says. About 10 minutes later Naruto steps out as inside were broken but barely alive men. Will your words reach her, Musashi says. Maybe, Naruto says, returning to Tezuna's home and switches with his clone. He learns that one Jonin and two Genin would guard Tezuna at his bridge, while the other Jonin and Genin will guard his family. This would be rotated every 2 days until the mission finished, with Naruto pairing with a member of Team 10 each time. Shimbureku. Yor sits quietly with Haku as Gato came to berate Zabuza about not finishing Tezuna, but he threatened the troll of man away. You came back drunk earlier, Haku says, his mask gone and revealing a handsome face with brown eyes. I'm not sure what happened. I was talking to someone named Shin and then things got fuzzy with our soda, Yor says. Gato's thugs probably wanted to have their way with you, Zabuza says and looms over her. What about this Shin, he adds. He was nice and listened to me ramble, Yor says, looking away slightly. HMPH, keep an eye out for him, Haku. I also want the two of you to scout those Genin. The three were scared shitless, but the redhead. He may prove interesting. Especially if he's a Uzumaki, Zabuza says, and both nod. Both sides would prepare for their inevitable clash as Haku and Yor scout the Ino Shikacho and Naruto in town or covertly, but Naruto was doing the same as himself or as Shin. The red hair player also dealt with Gato's thugs by making the body count rise with Kakashi's permission, infuriating Gato to no end and slowly forcing Zabuza's hand. A few times as Shin encounters Yor again but she avoids him, and a few times as himself where she likes his whiskers and each time seems more at ease with him. He hopes his words can reach her and help her break away from Zabuza as 2 weeks pass with their collision coming. So, what's it like dating 3 girls, Ino says, sitting on the roof of Tezuna's home. Naruto is on the ground doing some katas as they were guarding Tsunami, while Asuma takes Kaiser into town with Kakashi, Shikamaru and Choji heading to the bridge to guard Tezuna. We do a few group dates but we sometimes do single ones. We're comfortable with one another, Naruto says. I heard rumors of a competition, Ino says, and Naruto holds a kick. I'm not telling you. Get your gossip elsewhere, Naruto says, and Ino puffs her checks but her eyes widen. Naruto, we got company, Ino shouts. Naruto looks down the path to see Yor approaching with a blank look on her face. Ino, I'll handle her. If you see a moment. Use your jutsu, he says. Right, Ino says. Naruto tosses off his coat and moves down the path towards Yor. Naruto, please move aside. I need to capture the bridge builder's daughter, she says. I can let that happen, Yor, Naruto says. Sensei wants me to take her. I can't disobey him, Yor says. Yes, you can. I told you. Zabuza may have saved you in your darkest hour, but he doesn't own your life, Naruto says, and Yor's eyes widen in recognition. Yes, I was Shin. I meant what I said, he adds. Yor's body trembles as her kai starts to leak from her. Naruto, if you meant those words, then save me by defeating me, she says, slowly moving forward. Naruto raises his hands and fists in orthodox boxing stance as his eyes become serious and sways back as Yor sends a spinning high kick that disturbs the air around them. Yor quickly moves into a 9-piece combo of punches and kicks as Naruto blocks but moves back. Quite the power boy, Musashi says. Yor ducks under a left straight and balances on her hands into a 8-piece combo of kicks as Naruto blocks with his forearms, before putting a little distance between them, but Yor is on him with heavy punches into heavy head kicks, actually destroying his gloves and sleeves. Naruto, save me from the darkness, Yor shouts, kicking open his guard with a high punt kick, and he sees tears in her eyes. Time slows as Yor spins on her right heel for a weighted spinning roundhouse, but Naruto sidesteps it and traps her leg into a palm strike to her chest. Naruto, move, Ino shouts with her arms raised and hands in a circle. Shinten Shin no Jutsu, she declares. Yor's body seizes as she falls on her back. Can you seal her chakra? I'll have a heart-to-heart with her, Ino says, in Yor's body. Right, Naruto says, and weaves sign as chakra lights up on his left hand before placing it on Yor's stomach as a seal forms. If Yor came, meaning Zabuza could be at the bridge, Ino says. Right, I'll make some clones, Naruto says, and makes 4, before taking off towards the bridge. Will you face Zabuza or Haku, Musashi says. Whoever gets in front of me, Naruto thought, and soon reaches the bridge, racing up to the bridge itself as the temperature has dropped with a thick mist. He sees Shikamaru and Choji fighting a few clones of Haku with bow staff while the Rotunda Kimichi uses his fists as he guards Tezuna. Seems Yor failed. Shame she died, the real Haku says, getting in Naruto's path. She isn't. Now surrender, Naruto says. I will not. You threaten Zabuza-sama's will. So I will kill you, Haku says. He blitzes forward into a spin as Naruto blocks his senbon with a kunai into a spinning barrage of counter strikes, culminating in the redhead grabbing Haku's right wrist. You may have trapped one of my hands, but that will not stop me, Haku says, and weaves signs with his free left hand. Sensatsu Suisho, he says, stomping the water and creating water needles. Naruto dodges skyward and fires 2 energy blasts to destroy the clones. Shikamaru, Choji, take Tezuna and go down the bridge, he shouts, as Haku appears with a spinning roundhouse and sending the redhead down into a skid as he lands. We can help, Choji says, as Naruto rushes Haku with a 7-piece combo. You can by moving away, Naruto shouts as they cross-lock their hands in test of power. Both engage in a series of knee strikes as Shikamaru pulls Tezuna along. Don't die, redhead, the older man shouts, as Choji follows. What were those blasts? I'll need to ask him, Shikamaru thought. You spared them witnessing your death. How noble, Haku says, freeing his hands and swings a high head kick, but Naruto pushes a palm to his chin. This knocks Haku off balance but manages to maneuver a kick to Naruto's stomach and pushes back to a vertical base with a weave of signs to Tiger, Hayaten, Tsubame Fubuki, Haku says. He creates a cluster of ice needles in the shape of miniature swallows form as Naruto dodges, but they curve to follow him, before the redhead skids to use his machine gun blows to shatter them while Haku is weaving more signs to ram. Hijutsu, Makayo Hayosho, Haku says, as the area becomes colder. Naruto's eyes widen as a dome of ice mirrors about 20 wide and 20 feet high forms as Haku slowly enters one of the mirror and starts to be reflected in each of them. Now then, let us begin. I will show you my true speed, Haku says, and Naruto uses observe to see Haku's SPD has increased dramatically. Numerous senbon of ice or steel explode from the various mirrors as Naruto dodges in his limited area, but a few find the mark to cut his visible skin. The cold will slow you down as things drag out, Musashi says. He avoiding them more and more. Is he adapting? Then I will use this, Haku thought, and weave signs of tiger, dragon, boar and dog. Hayaten, Haryumoko, Haku thought. Naruto jerks as a tiger of ice erupts from a mirror and slams into him as he manages to throw up a cross-arm block, but he slowly starts to freeze. WYT the hell. he says, as another tiger bites his right leg from behind. Now I will end this by using Hisatsu Hyoso. Don't worry, you will not suffer. Your death will be certain, Haku says. Naruto grits his teeth as his body slowly becomes red as Haku forms a ram sign, Kaio. Ken, Naruto roars, shattering the ice with a red-hot aura. Haku halts his attack as his eyes widen and Naruto lower himself before rocketing forward like a jet engine to shatter a mirror with his fist as Haku dodges to another mirror. But Naruto follows upwards as a red streak, breaking mirrors in his wake to Haku's shock. He's gotten so fast. Who is this Naruto? Haku thought, but he freezes as Naruto's fist is coming towards his face. I can't dodge, Haku says, before being cracked in face and through the ice mirror. He bounces off the bridge a few times as his mask shatters and Naruto lands as Kaioken subsides. Good thing I can use my clones to train in Kaioken. Despite being a physical trait, Naruto thought. Haku struggles to a half-seated position as his left eye has swollen up and some blood drips from his nose, but his ears hear this crackling like the sound of numerous birds chirping. He shifts and his eye widens in horror as the mist has lessened for him to see Zabuza bound by several dogs and Kakashi's right hand crackling with blue chakra. Zabuza-sama. I need to save him, Haku thought, struggling to turn over and get up as Naruto approaches behind him. Haku bounds to his feet and creates a lance of ice to stab Naruto, but as he turns, a whitish-blue blade of energy pierces his chest and through his heart. Zabuza-sama. Forgive me, Haku whispers, slumping on Naruto's azure dragon sword. Naruto cancels his sword and catching Haku as a squelching echoes, before looking to see Kakashi pierce Zabuza's chest to end the demon of mist. He lifts Haku up and makes his way to them as Kakashi removes his hand while Zabuza draws his last breaths but weakly sees Haku in Naruto's arm. I'll see you on the other side, Haku, Zabuza thought, falling as the dogs dispel. Naruto, Kakashi says, but out the corner of his eye sees a group coming from the incomplete side of the bridge. So the big bad demon is actually a weak baby who died. Though he did weaken those ninja Gato sneers, with about 40 mercs. Naruto places Haku down next to Zabuza. Kakashi. Can I end Gato? Naruto says. Go for it, Kakashi says, as Gato grips his cane in anger. Kill them, Gato shouts. Naruto raises his left arm and braces it with his right as his Kaioken aura erupts. Barak Seika, he shouts, firing a burst of blue energy. Gato and his thugs have no time to react as they were erased from the world, while the blast hits the water with a medium-sized explosion as Kakashi watches with flicker eyes. I hope I didn't mess up Tezuna's bridge too bad, Naruto says. Shinbiraku, Naruto, Kakashi-sensei, Choji says, coming with his team and Yor. She sees the bodies of Zabuza and Haku as her hands go to her mouth to stifle a shuddering breath. Sensei. Yor whispers, don't worry, Kakashi-sensei, Yor is on our side. We talked it out and has surrendered to Naruto, Ino says, seeing the weariness in Kakashi's eyes as he pulls his Hidayar down. Why, Naruto, Kakashi says. What happened to my bridge? Tezuna shouts, seeing scorch marks. He saved me from the darkness, Yor says, as they ignore Tezuna. What will happen to them? Choji asks. Can they be buried? Yor says. Naruto seal up their bodies in the Kubikira Bacho. I'll contact the Hokage on what to do going forward, Kakashi says, and Yor slowly nods, before her gaze shifts to Naruto but says nothing. Her talk with Ino was an eye-opening experience. Her life since Sensei saved her was one of servitude. She fought to not kill while Haku faithfully froze anyone for Sensei as like her was by saved him. I will no longer live as a tool but as a person, Yor thought. Naruto seals each body in a stasis scroll and the large sword as well, before making their way back to Tezuna's home as the older man complains. Team 10 would have a story to tell their sensei about facing Yor, facing Zabuza and Haku, also Gato now being dead. Kakashi would send a message to the Hokage before he and Asuma head to Gato's place, leaving their genin to their own devices. Quest complete. Rewards: 110000 XP. 2 1000 Rep Nami no Kuni. 3 Unlock Your Briar. Yor's harem affinity is 20%, Naruto thought, sitting on the dock and kicking water with bare feet. Naruto, Shikamaru says, as Naruto hears the creak of wood and looks back. Something wrong, Naruto asks, but Shikamaru shakes his head. I wanted to ask you something when you destroyed those ice clones. What did you do? Shikamaru asks. Naruto holds up his left hand and forms a blue energy orb. You mean this, he says, and Shikamaru nods. It's a clan secret. Apparently some members of the Uzumaki clan can form their chakra in various ways. I can make a sword, a scythe even, or just form blast, he says, using silver tongue and firing the small blast. You never showed it at the academy, Shikamaru says. Didn't need it though. Now I am working on some, Naruto says. That will make him more dangerous, Shikamaru says, and sees Yor approaching in casual clothes. She wears red off-shoulder sweater with black tights, a red skirt and brown-heeled ankle boots. Hello, Yor says, and Shikamaru gives her a nod. We'll talk more later, Shikamaru says, walking off. How are you feeling? Naruto says. I am okay, Yor says. Naruto rubs his neck as the pair stand and sit in silence. What is Konoha like, she asks. It's not bad. Though because of a certain incident some people are a bit narrow-minded, Naruto says, but pauses for a moment. Do you know what Jinchuriki are? He adds. Like the Mizukage's nephew, Yor says. Yeah, on the day I was born. The Kyuubi attacked the village. So many people antiquated my birth to the attack, but slowly most are changing, Naruto explains. I'm sure you were not the only child born on that day. Fear just seems to alter people's perception, Yor says. She is right, Musashi says. Yeah, I'm sure the land of water is a bit similar, Naruto says. Yes, but Sensei heard revolutionaries are trying to topple the Mizukage tyranny, Yor says, and Naruto nods. Naruto, Kakashi Sensei and Asuma Sensei are back, Ino shouts. Naruto rises to his feet and taps Yor on the shoulder. Come on. Let's see what they found, he says, and Yor slowly nods. Kakashi and Asuma reveal they found deeds to various businesses which would be returned over the coming days. Both teams and Yor would deal with any remaining mercs, but most took off as the money was gone. About 4 days after Zabuza's death did Kakashi get a reply back from the Hawkage that Team 10's mission is now finished and turned things over to Team 7. An encrypted message for Kakashi remarks that he and Naruto will meet 2 members of the revolutionaries in 2 weeks to confirm Zabuza's death and take possession of the Kubikirabacho. Team 10 would say their goodbyes to Kaiza, Tsunami, Tazuna reluctantly, Yor and Team 7 before heading back to Konoha. Naruto and Kakashi would remain at Tazuna's place as several thanked them for saving their country. Tazuna also has a contract written up for the Hawkage to sign concerning the alliance discussed with Asuma. Naruto and Yor would continue to get to know one another, even sparring a few times, and Kakashi remarking she could join Team 7 if the Hawkage approves it after some vetting. Kakashi even comments about how those 3 would react to Naruto bringing home a pretty girl, causing Naruto to explain about Tsunade, Sarada, and Kaguya, but also the cry. Yor turns bright red at this news and inadvertently kicks Naruto in the chin once again, leaving him with a swollen chin for a few hours. Yor profusely apologizes and attempts to cook a meal but fails miserably. However, Tsunami sets her straight over the course of a few days. Quest received. Meet one of the new 7 Swords of Mist. Rewards. 1 500 rep revolutionaries. 2 unlock Esdeath Partis. I'm meeting Esdeath now. Naruto thought, doing a few push-ups. Naruto, Mr. Kakashi is looking for you, Yor says, sliding open the door to his room. Alright, let me get dressed, Naruto says, and Yor nods, sliding the door closed and heading downstairs to help Tsunami. Naruto dresses himself in some clothes bought from in town of black denim overall shorts, some white running tights, and boots with a dark blue long-sleeve shirt. He heads downstairs to Kakashi waiting, and the Jonin gives him a look. You inherited your mother's fashion sense. Come on, Kakashi says. Okay, so where are we meeting them, Naruto asks, saying bye to Yor and Tsunami. The Hawkage has a crow guiding them to Zabuza's old hideout, Asuma and I found, Kakashi replies, as they take off towards the more denser forest on the island. I wonder what Esdeath's harem affinity will be, Boya Musashi comments. I said she will immediately fall in love with me. Yor is 20%, Sarada and Tsunade are 85%, and Kaguya is 95%. So by process of elimination, Esdeath should be around Kaguya's. Then there are her yandere tendencies to girls outside of the harem, Naruto thought. The forest is more ominous the closer they get to the hideout, and the trees seem to block the sun, but Naruto sees said hideout in the trees. Up ahead, they are waiting, Kakashi says. Naruto sees 2 people waiting at the base of the hideout before using Observe to learn they are Esdeath Partis and Jiyu Tomioka, the former comparable to a Chunin and the latter a high-level Jonin. Kakashi Haddock, the man said to have copied 1,000, Jiyu says, once they near them. He is a fairly tall young man of a lean muscular stature and pale complexion with unruly black hair of uneven lengths that sticks up in tufts around his head, tied back in a low messy ponytail at the base of his neck. His eyes are sharp and moderately large, their iris is a deep sapphire that fades to a lighter blue, and their pupils a bluish-black and framed by thin eyebrows. He wears dark pinstripe hakama pants with white wraps around his lower legs and zori sandal. A light kasode with a long-sleeve shirt underneath and a haori to his hips. Jiyu Tomioka, highly skilled swordsman and capable of Suten Jutsu rivaling our Nidaime Hawkage, Kakashi says. High praise. This is Esdeath Partis, former apprentice of Amiri Ringo, Jiyu says, but sees she is blushing. She is a tall, beautiful, and slender woman with long, light blue hair and blue eyes, with a cap on her head having the Kiri Hidai plate. She wears a white, double-breasted jacket with black cuffs and collar, arm-length black gloves, a short pleated white skirt, a pair of white thigh-high stockings having garter straps, and calf-length heeled boots. Naruto Uzumaki, my student and son of the Red Death, Kakashi says, noticing Esdeath blushing as well. Hi, Naruto says, extending his hand, and sparkles flicker around his form. Esdeath slowly takes Naruto's hand to shake it but pulls him into a kiss as the redhead's eyes widen. Hello, she says, after pulling back and licking her lips. Quest complete. Rewards. 1 500 rep revolutionaries. 2 unlock Esdeath Partis. Quite forward, and her harem affinity is 98%, Boya Musashi says. Jiyu clearing his throat snaps Naruto back to reality. Do you have Zabuza's body and the Kubikirabacho? Jiyu says. Why yeah, I do, Naruto says, pulling out 2 scrolls. He unseals Zabuza's body for Jiyu to confirm it as him as Kakashi takes the Kubikirabacho scroll. Naruto. Why don't you get to know Esdeath over here, Kakashi says, and Naruto slowly nods as they give the 2 men some space. Tell me, did you kill Zabuza's apprentice Hakuyuki? Esdeath asks, a bit of glee in her tone. She does have a sadistic side for fighting, Musashi comments. I did. He was an interesting opponent, Naruto says. I see. I too am capable of Hyaden. Perhaps a bet is in order, as Death says and smirks. I desire you, Naruto Uzumaki. So I wish to face you in battle to see if you are powerful enough for me. I will enter the Chunin exams as a Kiri competitor if you defeat me personally or rank higher than me. I will accompany you back to Konoha as your bride, however, should I defeat you personally or rank higher. You move to Kiri as my prize, she says. Alright, however, be prepared. You won't be my only bride, Naruto says and extends his hand. I'm content with that. However, only the strong deserve you, as Death says, shaking his hand. Naruto, things have been confirmed. Zabuza's bounty will be collected by Konoha. Also his body interred per yours wishes, Kakashi says, and the redhead nods. We will meet again, son of the Red Death. Come along, as Death, Jiu says. Bye, Naruto, as Death says, following Jiu, and they vanish in a swirl of mist. So why did she kiss you, and what are you going to tell those three, Kakashi says, and Naruto sighs with no answer. They head back and begin the process of interment on a small, grassy area which overlooks Tezuna's bridge with simple grave markers. A day later, the three say their goodbyes to Tezuna, Kaiza, and Tsunami before getting a ride back to the land of fire via one Kaiza's friends. Shinbureku, Tsunade, Sarada, and Kaguya sit on one side of a table inside the Senju compound, with Yor on other side with a look nervousness, while a silent Naruto and Karin are in the middle. So, let's review what has happened. First, you and Kakashi were sent to Kusa to save little Karin there. Encountered several foes, one of which was capable of my grandfather's Moki, and Tobium says and pauses for Naruto to nod. Then you were sent to Nami to save the newest Ino Shikacho and encountered the Demon of Mist and his two followers, Tobium says and shifts her eyes to Yor. You fought her and Yamanaka swayed her to our side. Then you saved Nara and Akamichi from a Hayaten user while Kakashi dealt with Zabuza, she adds, and Naruto nods. This is when Ms. Briar decided to dedicate herself to you, Sarada says, a glinting in her glasses hiding her eyes. And then, another Hayaten user kissed you on the lips when meeting you for the first time, Kaguya adds, a sickeningly sweet smile on her face, and proclaimed you as hers with a bet for you possibly moving to Kirigakure, Tsunade finishes. Naruto looks at the mahogany table as 4 sets of eyes were on him and 3 trying to turn into ash. That is what I said. Yes, he says. I see no issue with this. However, my daughter is the head wife in the future, so things will defer to her. Right, Mikoto? Atomi, Tobium says, glancing to the two mothers. Yes, both say, sweet smiles on their faces. Tsunade has her arms folded under her buxom bosom with her eyes closed in thought. One thing the three of us agree on is that Naruto is too pretty to be left alone. 2 missions outside and he has essentially collected 2 more girls for his harem, she says, and both nod. I agree. Naruto is good looking and I can see why Yor in this as Death would be enamored by him, Sarada says. Which is why Yor will live here and get to know us. While Naruto cleans house during the exams, Tsunade says. I won't fail, Naruto says. Good. Now Itachi has a new home for you and Karin, Mikoto says. Really, Naruto says. Yeah, it's a nice house, Karin says. Come, we'll show you, Tsunade says, and Naruto slowly nods. The group of 5 leave the Senju compound as Yor is taken by Tobium to T and I and head east towards the edge of the clan district. Brother says the house was commissioned by Lady Kushina and has been abandoned, but Lord Sandaime has kept the upkeep, Sarada says. It's only 4 bedrooms, but we can get something bigger later, Kaguya says. Karin can take ownership once we need a bigger place, Tsunade says. After about 15 minutes of walking, come to a high wall of about 10 feet with a wooden gate having the Uzumaki swirl on it. Naruto sees a 2-story home that has this rustic feel about it with a moderate-sized front yard, a few trees and long porch having large glass doors and windows, but one could see the Hokage Mountain. They head along the stone path and see a few long flower pots as they go up several steps. I'll open it, Karin says, unlocking the door. There is a landing to place shoes and a long hall towards one of the 2 bathrooms, stairs leading to the 2nd floor on the right, and a few closet storages. A few feet from the door is a turn left into the kitchen, dining room, and living towards the glass doors. We'll need longer sofas. Same with the table in case we have a few people over, Sarada says. It's good enough for us. We can go to one of your places for large get-togethers, Naruto says. The kitchen has several cabinets with a large one for perishables, a double sink, 4-burner stove and counter. The dining table has 6 chairs and living room has 1 sectional sofa and a normal sofa, a long table for books and place for a TV. The 2nd floor has a 2nd bathroom, office, 3 normal bedrooms and a master bedroom having a bathroom of its own and large closet. We'll need a bigger bed for those activities, Tsunade says, as Kaguya covers Karin's ears. Yeah, and sturdy one for some, Naruto says, and one shoots him a look, strength. Not weight, he adds. Well, Kakashi has given me 2 weeks off, so I'll be able to fully move in. We can even invite the others for a housewarming party, Naruto finishes. Well, Shino will come, but Kiba and Sakura no way, Sarada says, and all of them nod, confusing Karin. 2 weeks pass and Naruto has fully moved into his new place with a party to celebrate, also Karin and Yor's arrival to Konoha. Yor did endure Anko's vetting but nothing harmful and became a member of the village, even given the rank of Chunin for her skills. Well, Naruto, we're taking a C-rank mission. It will be our last for a bit, as we'll use these last 3 months to prepare for the Chunin exams, Kakashi says. Who's the client, Naruto asks. Goto, however, another team got the mission, but when Goto saw the team, he paid extra for our team. Your work ethic has touched him, Kakashi says. Which team? Naruto says, and Kakashi sighs. Teammate, how he adds, and Kakashi nods. Focus on helping Goto. So back for about 2 weeks. We'll be in a caravan heading for a mine near the land of rivers. We'll be on guard duty for bandits. So meet at the west gate in 30. The caravan will depart from there, Kakashi says, and Naruto nods. He heads home but meets up on Team 5. Sorry, I've got a C rank, Naruto says, as they head inside. That's okay, though. Can you summon Princess Shuna? Brother has agreed to let me sign the Oni contract, Sarada says. Father agreed as well, Kaguya says, glancing at Tsunade. I want a more offensive summon. Lady Katsuyu has more defense and she has given her consent, Tsunade says. Let me get ready and I'll summon her, Naruto says, and head upstairs, as they three nod. He dresses himself in denim cargo pants with suspenders and work boots, a long-sleeve white shirt and vermilion hoodie. What sort of mission, Sarada asks, as Naruto comes into the living room. Escorting a caravan with teammate, Naruto says, sliding opening the glass door. Good luck, all three say, as Naruto bites his finger and weaves signs. Fuchio's no jutsu, Naruto declares, slamming his hand down and thinking of Shuna. A puff of smoke erupts and dies down to reveal a beautiful Oni with narrow porcelain horns protruding from her forehead. Long, wavy, pink hair, coupled with large hot pink eyes under very light, barely existing eyebrows and tear-like face markings. She wears a white kimono with simple but graceful red embroidery, a red kimono skirt held in place with a red ribbon and making her look like a Miko. Greetings, Naruto and Princess Shuna says, and all of them bow. Hello, Princess Shuna. I need to go on a mission, but they have agreed to sign the contract, Naruto says. That is fine. Summon us if needed and be careful, Shuna says, and he bids them goodbye. He heads for Ikaraku for a bowl and arrives to the caravan outside the gates about 5 minutes before Kakashi told him to. Hey kid, Goto says. Hey old man, Naruto says, bumping fists with the older man, and Goto introduces some of the caravan to him. It is 6 wagons pulled by 2 teams of oxen and half are loaded down with various supplies as teammate arrive. Kiba gives Naruto a smug look as Sakura fawns over him while Shino is silent and gives the redhead a curt nod as Kurenai is neutral, before Kakashi arrives with a red mark on his mask in the form of lips. So are we ready? Kakashi says. Yeah, you and the kid can ride in my wagon. The other team can take that one, Goto says, as his wagon leads the caravan and teammate gets the rear. Kiba grits his teeth in anger and is about to say something, but Kurenai stops him as she guides her team to their wagon. The caravan drivers crack their whips to get the oxen moving and the journey towards the mine near the town of Honoka. It is a quiet journey for the first 3 days with stops to feed the oxen and give everyone a chance to stretch their legs. A slow simmering tension is noticed by Kakashi and Kurenai, but it mainly comes from 2 genin towards 1 genin. No bandits or highwaymen harass the caravan, and on day 5 they reach Honoka, but something is off about the town. Someone usually meets us, Goto says. Naruto, Kakashi says, and the redhead nods, creating a dozen clones and sending them into the town. Kiba sniffs the air and gets a lot of sense but smells blood on the air. Sensei, I smell blood, he says. Alright, Naruto creates some more clones to guard Goto and the others. We'll head in and check things out, Kakashi says. Team 7 and 8 disembark the wagons as Naruto creates said clones. Kiba, lead the way, Kurenai says. The 6 move in a loose formation but have a cautious edge. Where are the people? Sakura says. Anything from your clones, Kakashi says, and Naruto shakes his head. This way, Kiba says, and they pick up their speed, reaching the town center to find nearly 24 deceased bodies. Sakura nearly screams, but Kurenai covers her mouth. Bandits, Kurenai says. No, shinobi, Kakashi says, picking up a kunai and seeing a few struck by shuriken. A trail leads this way, Kiba says, pointing north. Naruto, call your scouting clones back to us, Kakashi says, and Naruto makes a clone that dispels. The dozen clones arrive as Kakashi orders them to bury those there with Goto's group as the teams follow the trail Kiba has picked up. Both teams follow the trail towards the north and it seems to lead them towards the mine. The mine is in a valley with high ridges and several underground caverns littering the area. Everyone halt, Kakashi says, his eye looking to the ridges. What's wrong? Kurenai says, but notices it too now. We're surrounded, Kakashi says, as 36 men rise from the ground. Kill the males. We can take the females, one says, and they fire numerous kunai, but our heroes use kawarami before springing into action and fighting the bandits. Hold on, Kiba, Kurenai shouts as Kiba rushes ahead towards the mine. Naruto goes after Kiba to find a very tall and muscular man with a dozen or so more men, along with some frightened townspeople. Kiba immediately uses his beast mimicry and rushes towards the obvious leader, alerting them to their presence, and they rush the impetuous Inuzuka. Naruto makes some clones to free the townspeople and deal with the bandits, but uses observe to find out the tall man is called Yomi Masanori, with his STR being near 800. Suga, Kiba roars, twisting towards Yomi. The towering man simply smirks and clenches his right fist with a heavy step in, sending his fist towards the brash Kiba, but Naruto uses kawarami to save him and takes the full power punch to left shoulder, knocking it out of the socket. Naruto lands with a skid in his left arm dangling, having a glare on his face as Kiba is not far from him. What the hell, beta male? Kiba shouts. Hahaha, you have good senses, boy. Unlike your friend, Yomi says. Naruto guards with his right side as Yomi chuckles. Why did you kill those people? Naruto says. My group and I want the mine. They refused, Yomi says, and shoots forward with another punch, but Naruto shifts to his left. He grunts as Yomi's fist pops his shoulder back in place and leaps into a knee to Yomi's chin. He's strong but slow, Naruto thought, dodging Yomi's grab. Kiba has to watch as Naruto dodges Yomi with rage in his heart. Fucking beta male, Kiba thought. Yomi swings a 6-piece combo but Naruto weaves away from each with a 3-piece counter, dropping Yomi to one knee, but he rushes the redhead in low tackle. Naruto sends a quick uppercut to Yomi's cheek, but he pushes through and grabs him, tossing the redhead with enough force to send him bouncing off the ground twice. Naruto recovers while Yomi sends a fist down to shatter the ground as Naruto weaves signs and fires a few vacuum spheres, but Yomi narrowly dodges, grazing his side. Daten, Doryuso, Yomi shouts, creating earthen spears, but Naruto somersaults over them and slams his hands into ground, before Yomi crashes into him with a spear. He rushes them towards the ridge wall, but the redhead uses Karin with one of his men, crashing the unwitting bandit into the rock face and killing him. Yomi turns to Naruto with a smirk as his fellow bandit crashes to the ground. Not bad, boy, Yomi says. Out of my way, beta male, Kiba shouts, as he and now Akamaru leap into a Gatsuga. Naruto goes prone as the dual twisters pass over him, but Yomi is ready with another heavy punch, but now enlarged by rock. Yomi misses Akamaru but punches Kiba and sends him flying over Naruto with several hops. You may want to help him, Yomi says, weaving signs, and slams his hands down. Daten, quicksand sinkhole, Yomi declares. The ground around the mining area starts to buckle and sink as Naruto turns to rush towards the down but struggling to his feet Kiba as the townspeople rush to escape. However, in the chaos, a little girl falls and Kiba ignores her as he runs away. Naruto grabs the little girl, but something grabs his leg like thick tendril. Sorry about this little one, he says, creating a clone, and tosses her to him as the ground collapses. Kakashi and the others reach the frightened townspeople as the mine has collapsed, some say, but none of them see Naruto. Where's Naruto? Kakashi says. Who knows, Kiba says, knowing full well Naruto was caught in the collapse. He saved me. I fell and he picked me up. He fell in there, the little girl says, pointing to the mine collapse. Kakashi and Kurenai's eyes widen as Shino and Sakura have a shocked expression. Well, but Kiba has a smug look. Good riddance. Serves the beta male right, he says, and Sakura quickly changes her expression due to his sentiment. However, suddenly Kiba finds himself slammed into a rock face with Kakashi having a very serious look on his face. How dare you say that, Genin? Kakashi says. Kiba is about to retort but only sees Sakura is on his side. I am sorry, Kakashi-sensei, Kiba says. How can we help, Naruto? Shino says. Kakashi lets go of Kiba and looks to the sinkhole. Naruto may have a way to escape, but it may cost the people their mine. That is if he's still alive, he says, clenching his fist. Shinbiraku. Naruto snaps awake in a cavern or vein of the mine and tries to move as blood coats the right side of his face, but his right leg is pinned under a rock. He groans in pain and lifts a little to see he is bleeding from his stomach as well. Shit, I am fucked up. I'll probably get a little Zanaki boost, Naruto thought. Free yourself so I can fully heal you, Musashi says. Naruto moves a little and manages to use Iron Annihilation to shatter the rock, freeing himself and dragging himself a few feet before turning on his back in pain as his leg looks mangled. Do you wish to purchase map of mine? Yes, no. It looks like all paths are blocked. Yomi really did a number on this mine, Naruto says, groaning as feeling is slowly coming back. Then how will we escape, Musashi says. Naruto runs his fingers through his red hair with a sigh and wipes some blood on his sleeve. I will blast my way out. Unfortunately, that will destroy the mine, he says. So, still alive, boy, Yomi says, and Naruto looks with a gasp, seeing Yomi alive from an upside-down perspective. Don't move, boy, Musashi says. Come to kill me, Naruto says. Of course. You are even defenseless as well, Yomi says, standing over Naruto and raises his fist. I'll crush your skull like your leg, Yomi says, and brings his fist down, but a chain wraps around his throat from Naruto's chest. He sends his Azure Dragon sword through Yomi's chest as he chokes from the chain. See, clever boy, Yomi says, before slumping over next to Naruto. Naruto slowly sits up to look at his slowly healing leg. The pants leg is ripped to knee and his boot is damaged but also ripped apart. It takes Musashi about a half hour to fully heal his injuries and gets plus 20 to all his stats due a Zenkai boost. Naruto seals Yomi's body away before getting to his feet and pops his joints as he goes SSJ. A final flash should suffice, he says, holding his arm level with his shoulder. He focuses and points his hand skyward as yellow energy surges between his closed hands, while the ground cracks from his surging power. Final flash, Naruto roars, his yellow blast exploding skyward towards the surface. Above ground the night is calm, but many were concerned for Naruto's safety except for two, but they keep their opinion to themselves. At the mine the ground starts to bloat and explodes as a pillar of yellow energy rises to the sky, something the whole town sees as Kakashi and teammate rush to the epicenter. They do just as Naruto flies out clad in his golden red aura as he lands before powering down with a sigh of relief, falling to his knees as Kakashi reaches him. Are you okay? Kakashi says, and Naruto gives a thumbs up. Teammate look over Naruto and see his torn clothes and dry blood on his face, white shirt and the hole in the stomach area. One shoe is missing and his pants leg as well. Kakashi helps Naruto to his feet as the redhead locks his gaze on Kiba and the Inuzuka flinches, but his bravado comes back. You got a problem, beta male? Kiba snaps, but Naruto says nothing. Come on, Naruto. We'll discuss things, Kakashi says, and Naruto slowly nods as the group of 6 head back to town. Song ends. Shin. How long was I down here? Naruto asks. A day, Kakashi says, and Naruto's eyes were wide. You were bad off, boy, Musashi says. They reach town and few people who have come out due to the redhead's final flash. He's alive. He's saved. He saved us, a few say. Naruto waves to a few as Kakashi takes him to the place Goto has for them. You're alive, kid, he says, bumping fists with the redhead. Not much can kill me, old man, Naruto says, joking some. Kakashi takes them to their room and the redhead gets out of his destroyed clothes for a very relaxing bath and some new night clothes of a long-sleeve shirt and shorts. Kakashi and Kurenai were waiting as the latter sent her genin to bed. So what happened, he asks, as Kurenai believes his dark passenger is responsible for freeing himself from his underground tomb. When I woke up, I found myself in a tunnel with my right leg trapped and bleeding from various spots. If not for Musashi, I would have bleed out or died from the concussion. Naruto starts and sighs with a rub of his leg. I managed to free myself and let Musashi start healing me. However, Yomi appeared, he says. Yomi, Kakashi questions. The leader of the bandits. Kiba and I fought him. He caused a collapse and it must have been happened since he found me, Naruto explains. Did you kill him? Kakashi says, and Naruto slowly nods. He believed I was defenseless. He stood over me, ready to crush my skull, but I used my chains and finished him off with my Azure Dragon Sword, Naruto replies. Kakashi has a neutral face as he knows Yomi is a Iwa missing nin, but Kurenai has shock on her face. Then you blasted yourself out, he says, and Naruto nods. Yeah, and I destroyed the town's mind, Naruto says. Why was your hair blonde and your eyes changed? Kurenai asks. It's how Musashi's chakra manifests, Naruto replies. They'll get some sleep, Naruto. We'll discuss things going forward in the morning, Kakashi says, and Naruto bids them goodnight. He reaches his room and plops on the bed with a sigh, but takes a while to fall asleep despite his gamer mind. The morning comes and a few people coming to see Naruto to thank him for saving them, even the mother of the little girl he saved. Goto and his caravan members decide to remain in Hanoka to aid the people, releasing both teams from their guard mission but signs a mission complete. Both teams reluctantly leave and return to Konoha, informing the Hokage about things, also Naruto killing Yomi. He would get the bounty for Yomi to the ire of Kiba, but Naruto would donate the money to the people of Hanoka. Shin. A month would pass since the mission to Hanoka, and Naruto learns good news is coming from the town as Itachi sent Anbu with a Daten specialty to fix the damage caused by Yomi and subsequently by him. This inspires the redhead to try and learn both the Daten and Raten affinities, giving him control over all 5 major elements. Another bit of good news is Jiraiya has finally returned to the village, allowing Naruto to finally remove Anko's curse mark. Finally ready, Chibai, Anko says, laying on the floor of Tobium's sealing room in shorts and breast bindings. Naruto is writing seals on his hands as a larger array is under Anko. Yeah. This seal will transfer the curse mark to this scroll in case of dead man features, he says. I doubt Orochimaru would go that far, but who knows, Jiraiya says, coming up behind them. Everything okay to start a Rosenin, Naruto says, and the sage makes a face as his wife and daughter snort behind him. Yeah, human, I checked. You're good to go, kid, Jiraiya says. Naruto takes a deep breath and weaves a lengthy chain of signs before placing his hands on the array. Slowly it glows and Anko feels this pain starting to course through her body. The snake mistress grits her teeth to keep from crying out in pain as something latches onto her curse mark with this strenuous pull on her chakra and maybe even her soul. Both Sanin watch for any issues or cause to step in. He's like his parents, Jiraiya says, seeing Minato and Kushina. Indeed, he even has a thing for blondes too, Tobium says. Lucky little brat gets the cry. Every man's dream, and I can't, Jiraiya says. Who'd want a pervert like you other than Mom? Tsunade says. I'm not a pervert, dear. I am a super pervert, Jiraiya says, and both blondes sigh. I heard from Kakashi. He's trying to be like Sensei and learn all 5 elements, he adds. The mission to Hanoka showed him to further broaden his skills, Tobium says. I read the report. He was buried alive for a day. If not for the Kyuubi, Jiraiya says and rubs his princess shoulder. I'm sure this will please certain elements in the village, he adds, changing the subject. Sensei has shown interest. Naruto has a built-in cheat code to do it. However, this also catches the interest of the bastard, Tobium says. Sensei, we're finished, Naruto says. Tobium moves to them and sees Anko breathing heavily with sweat covering her body. Good work, Tobium says. Yeah, now I can become a MILF, Anko whispers, as Naruto rolls up the scroll. I'll take care of this, Sensei, Naruto says, and Tobium nods. Thanks, Chibai, Anko says, and Naruto gives her a thumbs up, heading outside as Tsunade follows him. Quest complete. Level up. Rewards, 115000 XP. 2 plus 1000 rep with Anko. 3 plus 500 rep with Kakashi. 4. Where's your, Naruto asks, tossing the scroll into the air and disintegrating it with a blast of energy. On a mission with some other Chunin, Tsunade says and raises her sleeve. Like my new tat, she adds. Naruto looks her over and the right side of her body has tattoos resembling thorny vines having oni interspersed in them. Shin's idea, he says, and the blonde nods, knowing Sarada and Kaguya have similar ones in their own style. How about a spar before lunch? I want to test my strength against Musashi's chakra, Tsunade says. Sure, Naruto says, as the pair head Senju private training ground. Tsunade slips off her blouse that leaves her with a sports bra and cracks her knuckles. Tsunade's SDR has reached 550 compared to my 700 and is augmented by Sensei's super strength. Perhaps someday she can twist metal like Unchained, Naruto thought as he turns SSJ. He raises his right arm forward with his hand open and clenches his left fist for a punch before blinking forward as Tsunade narrowly sways right, avoiding Naruto's sailing left that disturbs the air along the path of the punch. Shit, that could have taken my head off, Tsunade thought, moving right with several back skips. She goes on the offensive with heavy 16-piece combo, keeping Naruto on the back foot, but he manages to catch her 16th punch with his left and swings his right, but Tsunade catches it. Both push to gain the upper hand, but Naruto has more strength and pushes Tsunade back. However, she frees her hands and sends a head kick, forcing Naruto to block with his forearm. He follows up with left hook, but Tsunade goes low to balance on her hands, sending a donkey kick as Naruto avoids it and sends a knee into her stomach. It has enough force to lift her off the ground into a flip as Naruto follows her, but she manages to kick out his legs with a sweep. Naruto slams his left hand and uses his superior strength to push himself up into a somersault to Tsunade's shock. How much upper body strength does he have, Tsunade thought, shooting after him as he lands with a weighted right straight. Naruto avoids it into a backflip and Tsunade barely avoids taking a kick to the chin as he lands, before Tsunade slams into him for a spear and lifts into a punishing AA spinebuster to spiderweb the ground. Tsunade stares into Naruto's blue-green but pupil-less eyes and caresses his cheek. "You look even more pretty in this state," she says, before leaning down and kissing his lips. Naruto slowly wraps his arms around the blonde as his left moves up and his right down as they kiss, but giggling catches their ears, causing Tsunade to look and see her perverted father in a tree. "I'll be back," Tsunade says, coldly, and Naruto chuckles as she goes to punt her father across the village. 2 months pass and the time for the Chunin exam has come, with each team heading for the coastal town Hanamila to embark on a ship to head for the Land of Water's main island. Naruto managed to learn a few low-ranked jutsu in the Daten and Raten affinities, giving him a wider arsenal of jutsu. Team 7 and Team 5 also learned their sensei would be expecting their first child, and Anko would not be accompanying them but wished each of them luck. Itachi also informed Naruto on what to expect, as he would deal with Higura and the redhead would deal with Kagura. Only Team 5 and Team Guy were informed of things as well. Team 8 and Team 10 were not, but this is precaution as certain members were not prepared. However, they would have to see what real ninja do. Okay, sadly the chapter is over, and if you enjoyed, just leave a like and subscribe with post notification, so when the next chapter is ready, you will be notified. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.